Welcome to Wrestling Days Live. We are live for this week's Smackdown. This is the go-home show for Smackdown this week and should be interesting. I don't really know what to expect, to be honest. It's on FS1, which is kind of a smaller channel. I think it's because it's the World Series tonight. So it's on BT Sport 2 here in the UK. I haven't seen any matches announced. Also, I've seen talking segments. So we've got the Roman Reigns Jey Uso segment where Roman is going to tell Jey what he can expect, what the consequences are going to be when he says I quit. As well as that, we've also got the Otis segment, Otis and Miz with the whole lawsuit and the briefcase. So we've got that as well. We obviously need to get Bayley to sign the contract as well for Hell in a Cell. This is the go-home show for Hell in a Cell. So we need that as well. So there's a lot of talking segments that are set up, but I haven't seen any matches. So, yeah, little bit confused. I had a look at the official preview. I don't know if they've tweeted anything out, but yeah, I had a look at the official preview and I couldn't see any matches announced. So we'll have to see what tonight has got in store. But it could be a weird one because it is a go-home show and it is on FS1. By the way, don't feel bad. Eric, shout out to you. Wrestling God, shout out to you. Sounds like a bad show, says Ryan. I don't know what to expect, to be honest. I can't sit here and say that I'm massively excited because it's a go-home show. And those tend to be the most terrifying words in wrestling, go-home show. Because all your stories are done and there's just nothing to get excited about. It's just the final touches. But saying that, there's only 4 matches that have been announced for Hell in a Cell. So we do still need another couple of matches. There's no way we're doing Hell in a Cell with 4 matches. Maybe 5, probably 6. At a push, I'd say 7. But 4, I can't imagine we're doing 4. NXT TakeOver tends to do 5. So I can see them adding 1 more at least. So there's going to need to be Summit tonight. I wonder if we get Miz versus Otis at Hell in a Cell for the Money in the Bank briefcase. I wonder if that's where we're going. So we'll find out. I mean, I think we've got Bayley, Sasha. I'm sure she will sign. We don't have the women's tag titles being defended, but I know that's both brands, I suppose, in a way, isn't it? That's a match they could add. I don't think they will add. I'm just trying to think if they need to get more women's matches on. Have we got a tag match as well? Is there a tag team match? There isn't a tag team match. So right now we don't have any tag team match at Hell in a Cell. So could it be that the Street Profits go up against someone? I don't know. It's very weird. It's very, very weird. So yeah, no tag match at the moment. 1 women's match. Only 4 matches in total. Hell in a Cell looks like a riot. So that is obviously this Sunday. Big weekend for us. We're back tomorrow for UFC, one of the biggest UFC shows of the year. We're back on Sunday for Hell in a Cell. We're back on Monday for Raw. Raw should be a lot of fun because obviously it's after Hell in a Cell. And is it the Road to Survivor Series? So that should be good. Julie, shout out to you. Hope you are well. Days, can I get a shout out, says Mike. Yes, you can. Shout out to you, Mike. Give me 1 second. No. Boom. Days, Miz is fighting for the briefcase tonight. That's interesting. Haven't heard that. Ryan says, what time are you starting UFC tomorrow? We will be doing all of the early prelims, the prelims, the main show. We'll be going through absolutely everything. So, yeah, it is an early one tomorrow. Don't forget, UFC tomorrow is, let me double check on my phone. I want to give you accurate timings because it's a very strange time. Early prelims start at 4, kind of early evening here in the UK. Late afternoon, early evening. That would be 11 a.m. in Eastern time. So 11 a.m. Eastern time, 4 like afternoon, evening time here in the UK. And I could see us starting before that. I reckon we could start a good hour before that, actually. So we might even start from 10 a.m. And we'll be going on quite late. Like, this thing could be going on till 5 Eastern, like 10 p.m. here in the UK. It's going to be like an all-day kind of a thing. So, obviously, one of the biggest shows of the year. That is very much distracting me at the moment. So, we got that tomorrow, and we got Hell in a Cell on Sunday. Hayden Garrett says, hello, Days. How are you doing, my friend? I'm good, thank you. I hope you are well. There's not tons to talk about, to be honest. This is kind of one of those where you look and you go, wow, okay. Like, there's just very little in the way of news, very little in the way of like a preview for tonight. So I suppose we can throw around a few thoughts, theories, predictions, whatever you want to talk about, really. Because, as I said, there really isn't much in the way of news today. I've seen something to do with WWE trying to get superstars to go for counselling. And they're going to try and bring that in and make it mandatory, kind of like a mental health thing. So I've seen that bouncing around. And Undertaker should be at Survivor Series, but not for a match, just because it's his 30-year anniversary. So that's been announced as well. Yesterday, there was news that Keith Lee has started recording new entrance music. Like, apparently he was in New York to actually record vocals for some new entrance music. So that's quite exciting. So there's a few things. Mike says, Days, did you see that WWE announced Fiend versus T-Bar? I did not see that. And let me double check it. Hell in a Cell 2020. Let's go to the Wikipedia page, which I know isn't like 100% legit, but it's pretty good. They've still got 4 matches. There's a WWE fake account. If you actually look at the it says at WWE Burner. I've had quite a few people sending me the graphic that they made, WWE Burner, and that was Fiend T-Bar. Now, in all fairness, Fiend has said, I'll see you in hell. He sent that reply to T-Bar, but I haven't seen the official WWE account confirm it. So, err on the side of caution of that one. Err on the side of caution. Days, do you think the Fiend will attack Randy after the match? Do I think Fiend will attack Randy after the match? I think there's a chance. We're definitely going to get that feud, but I don't expect it yet. Give me 1 second. Shout out to Lucas. Liston says, Days, do you know in the Thunderdome you can wear any t-shirt that's not rude and 18 plus? That's interesting. I bet you wouldn't get away with an AEW shirt, but yeah, that's cool. Lauren says, Mike Bennett answered one of my questions in an interview. I'm freaking out. Very cool. Hayden says, I'm going to wake up at 3 a.m. just to be ready for UFC 254. Wow. Robin says, Days, are the Wednesday streams over? Maybe. I think this Wednesday coming, there's a chance we'll do probably just AEW. And we'll see how that goes. But yes, the Wednesday streams are definitely in danger. William Hensey says, Days coming to Broadway, June 2021, AE Wrestling Side Story, a musical wrestling match. I tell you, man, that's been the talk of the town. Wow. It's all I've seen. Everywhere is people talking about that moment. It's really interesting. I really, really love the conversation. And I love seeing how different people have reacted. You've got people that loved it. I had a guy, I didn't like it. And I said on Twitter that I didn't like it. And I had a guy that responded by saying that, like, his mom was sick and she absolutely loved it. And I was like, brilliant. That's great, isn't it? Great. I mean, awesome. So I'm pleased that that guy's mom enjoyed it. Yeah, there's people that hated it. There's people that loved it. There's people that are confused by it. Like, it really has split people. And I do think that's very interesting. I've always said when it comes to wrestling, like, you want a good talking point. That's what I hope for. You want them to give you some. The worst kind of shows, the very worst shows, are just the bland, boring shows that just don't. Do you know what I mean? Nothing happens. You sit there. You're just a bit like, it finishes, and you're like, well, I didn't need to watch that. I didn't need to sit here and give 2-3 hours to that show. So they can't be accused of that. They can't be accused of that. But AE Wrestling Side Story sounds very interesting, William. WWE Michael Events. Shout out to you, buddy. Shout out to WWE Michael Events. What's the odds of Lars having a 5-minute match again, says the Mouldy Spoon. That's predictable. That's true. Yep. I mean, actually, again, just a reminder, it's on FS1 tonight. It's also on BT Sport 2. So, yeah, I'm just watching it right now, actually. I've got Lars against Jeff Hardy from last week. So they're building him up, and I think there's a very good chance that you will see him again. Ulysses says, love the streams and videos. Shout out to you. Days, love the beard. Thank you. It loves you as well. Days, what is happening on a Wednesday? AEW and NXT. That's what's happening on a Wednesday. Jason says, oh, I read it. Yolanda says, do you play Among Us? I don't. No, I don't play Among Us. I know of it. I saw Twitter reacting to, what's her name? Cassio Cortez, is it? She was playing it, wasn't she? And she got loads of viewers. I don't really get it. Like, because I don't play it, I don't understand it. But I think it's something to do with you've got to have friends. So I'm out straight away. Do you know what I mean? Straight away, it's done. It's over. Like, if it's a game you can sit down and play on your own, brilliant. I'll boss that all day long. Yeah? I'll be the Among Us ruler. But as soon as it says you've got to have friends, well, then we've got problems. So, no, I don't play it, my friend, I don't. But I am aware of it, so I don't want you to think that I'm some kind of old guy that's out of touch. I am so in the know. Like, honestly, I'd be the number one Among Us streamer. I could be if I wanted to. I just choose not to. So, but I know of it. I'm confused by the ending of Wednesday streams, says Trini. We'll probably do AEW, to be honest. So, they're not... Right now, they're not ending. I can see us getting to Wednesday and doing an AEW stream. My beard is catching your beard. Are they in a race? Give me another few weeks and I will be there. Yeah, I mean, look, my beard kind of gets to a point where it just kind of stops. Like, I'm not doing anything with this. I mean, literally nothing at all. I don't comb it. I don't use beard oils. This is as rogue as it gets. So, yeah, it kind of gets to this point, and then I think it kind of just largely stays where it is. Yeah, I think you could catch me up very quickly. Days, I think SmackDown has lost a bit of its excitement, says Febin, since the Fiend Alexa story has drifted to Raw. I agree. I think that SmackDown had two very big storylines. It's only a 2-hour show, and I think that it had two very big storylines, which I think really helped. So you obviously had the whole Alexa joining the Fiend story, which was very interesting. And obviously the Roman Jay story, which is massive. I suppose in a way you could say the Bayley Sasha one as well. That's been rumbling for quite a while. But I suppose you had all that playing out on SmackDown as well. So, like the Alexa one's relatively new. The Roman one's obviously relatively new. The Bayley Sasha, that's been teased all over summer. And because they were tag champs, it was kind of flirting between the two shows. But I suppose they became exclusively SmackDown. So you could say three big stories on the 2-hour show. But I do understand they've probably looked at it and gone, wow, 3-hour show probably could do with a little bit more. So, but yeah, I agree. SmackDown has taken a knock. I do think that Raw came out of that draft much better. Much better. Jennifer Palmer says, Days, what is your take on Khabib's weigh-in? He had to get naked. Woo! Yeah! To make the 155 weight limit. Then using the guys for support, he seemed weak. Yeah. Yeah, he didn't look great, did he? At all. Really bad weight cut. Really bad weight cut. It's been really interesting, actually. There's a few fighters that have come out of that gym, that have come out of where Khabib, like, you know, trains and fights with, that have struggled recently. Fighters that you would expect to do very well, looking below their standard. Obviously, Khabib's dad passed away, and the theory is that has really rocked, like the whole gym, the structure, and it's just upset a few things. Like, I don't think this has been a smooth transition. Obviously, you know, they're all going to be upset. That goes without saying. But I'm talking about the actual training side, the nutrition side, the weight cutting side. I mean, Khabib really should know what he's doing by now. But, yeah, he did not look good at the weigh-in. He did not look good at all. I think Dan Hardy was saying after seeing that now, he's 50-50 on who wins that fight. He's gone, he was full on Khabib, but after seeing the weigh-in, he's now gone 50-50. And it is significant because we've seen time and time again, bad weight cuts can result in really bad performances. And you do not want to be going in less than 100% against Justin Gaethje. So he'll be all right by the time it gets to the fight. Obviously, he can, you know, rehydrate now and get himself, you know, good rest. So by the time the bell rings, he'll be all right. The question's going to be what his cardio is going to be like. Like, he'll have a good first, second round, but what's he going to be like in rounds 3, 4, and 5? That's where the weight cut tends to show. But a big talking point for tomorrow, as if we needed another one. That tomorrow is on track to be one of the biggest shows of the year. So, apologies to those that don't watch UFC, but we are on the verge of one of the biggest fights of the year. It's kind of like sitting here on the verge of Deontay Wilder against Tyson Fury, or Fury against Joshua. You know, one of those big boxing events. It's kind of like that for MMA fans. Tomorrow is massive. So I think there'll be a few questions about it tonight. But hey-ho, so there should be. WWE Michael Events says, who's your favourite wrestler in WWE and AEW? That's a very good question. I really love what they're doing with Roman at the moment. I think what they're doing with Roman is fantastic. I'm so on board with that. I'm also really on board with what they're doing with Jey Uso. I think that's really interesting as well. Because obviously they could have given Roman any opponent, but they've given him Jey. And I think how they've used him has been really interesting. Really interesting. So, yeah, there's a couple of people that I'm really into. I'm into Bayley as well. And AEW-wise, a little more tricky. I always said Big Swole but I struggle to say Big Swole now. So I think maybe Kenny. I'm probably on board with seeing the cleaner return. So yeah, but I mean, look, and obviously Asuka, but I just love that Roman Jay story. As I said, you could have put Roman in there with anyone, and when they chose Jay, I think a lot of our eyes rolled. But I think Jay has been excellent in that role. I think he's done a really great job. And not someone I was expecting, but the whole family storyline has been brilliant. And I think they've both risen to it. So, Days Otis is going to appear on court tonight, says Brax the Beast. Roman is the best thing right now, says Austin316, followed by the Fiend. David says Chelsea Man U tomorrow. Also, whoops to Original Sin Cara, who was shown unmasked during a live stream. Chalmers says, random question, what is your favourite match from the Thunderdome? So, that's good. Let's throw that to the chat. What's your favourite match from the Thunderdome so far? Shout out to a few people as well. I can see Match of the James and Heather, James Chadwick as well, Yolanda and Ahmad, Dara. Days Alex from Talksport tweeted Mick Foley had a top secret meeting with Vince to do screen stuff. What do you think that could mean? Well, what would be awesome would be a return of Mankind. That would be awesome. Because if Foley could do one match of Mankind versus Fiend, that would be incredible. Mankind, certainly if he came back with the darker Mankind, not like the comedy Mankind that we saw with like the Rock and Sock connection, but like the original brown attire Mankind, the one that feuded with Taker in like 96 and Buried Alive and all of that. If he could bring him back for one match, then that would be perfect for the Fiend, because that would give the Fiend like a legend to feud with. And I just think like on a poster, it would look stunning if you had Mankind and the Fiend. I think that'd be interesting. Plus, didn't he attack Mick Foley when he first arrived? I'm pretty sure Mick Foley is a victim to the Fiend. So there's clearly some backstory. So, yeah, I really like that. If he's not going to do that, then maybe he's going to return as GM. I don't think having GMs would be the worst thing. I mean, they're using Adam Pearce at the moment. Maybe they'll keep using Adam Pearce for, like, SmackDown, and then they bring in Mick Foley again for Raw. It's a role that he's done before, and I thought he was okay. I didn't think he set the world on fire. I thought Paige was better. I think if you're going to bring in a GM, then bring in Paige. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else they could use him for. GM mode, feud against the Fiend, or one match against the Fiend. I don't even know if Foley's medically cleared, to be honest. I doubt he's ever been medically cleared. Manager, I don't think he would do that, to be honest. I can't see him coming back to be a manager of someone. The only other thing would be some network stuff, but I don't think that's that exciting. But I don't know, to be honest. I mean, this is just a quote, I believe, from Mick Foley, so he might be building up something and making it seem bigger than it is. So it could just end up being some network shows. So, yeah, hard to know, like, where to go on the excitement scale with that one. Days, how are you today? Can I get a shout out? Yes, shout out to Matthew Lee. Do you think the Fiend could attack Undertaker when he returns? That's another great shout. Really, can you imagine the excitement if Undertaker is in the ring, the lights go out, and the Fiend attacks? It's a brilliant shout. I think that would generate so much excitement. I love that. That's a really good idea. I really think that the Fiend needs those kind of matches, to be honest, or those kind of moments. I wouldn't do the Orton feud yet. I wouldn't do it yet. I think it needs lots of time, and I think Orton is on the verge of starting a feud with Edge. I can see Orton Edge starting up again in January, just after the Rumble. So that'll give you a few months to do Orton Fiend. And honestly, that doesn't feel like enough weeks for me. I think this is your big story for next summer. Like, you don't need to pull the trigger yet. So no, I would wait on Fiend Orton, but I think doing like those little moments of Fiend Undertaker, I'm into that. Plus, you can find someone for the Fiend to feud with on Raw. It won't be a problem. There's plenty of people. Plus, you got the whole Alexa story. What if the focus comes off the Fiend, which would probably make sense. We've seen the Fiend quite a bit recently. Maybe take the focus off him and have Alexa introduce her own Fiend, her own darkness. That would be interesting. So, yeah, food for thought. NXT Halloween Havoc is on Wednesday. Will you stream it? Probably not. Probably not. That one boy says, my TV is broken. So I am depressed. Shout out to that one boy. Cora, shout out to you, my friend. Heather says, I don't know. A Fiend Foley feud might be kind of scary, but I don't know if Bray can treat him with kid gloves. Yeah, I mean, it is going to be hard hitting. To be honest, I don't think Foley would want to be treated with kid gloves. He might need to be treated with kid gloves because he's basically made out of glass now. But in fairness, he might not even get medically cleared. So it might not be something that can even happen. But I just think that if there's a way of doing it, if there's a way of doing one match and having it kind of planned out, then that could be interesting. They could, to make it safe, they could do it as a boiler room brawl. Do you know what I mean? And then it can be like cinematic. In fact, that would be awesome. Fiend versus Mankind in a boiler room brawl. I haven't seen one of them in a long, long time. So, and as I said, you know, if you do it that way, then at least you can do it cinematic and keep it safe. Days, why are you not streaming next week? I am streaming next week. Let's not start that rumours. Let's not start those rumours. Yolanda says, guys, if you want to watch WWE on your phone, go to Watch WWE Inc. I have honestly never even heard of that. Is the channel going to stream UFC tomorrow? Yes. We'll be doing this for UFC tomorrow. Obviously, we can't stream the actual fights, but we'll have the live stats as the fights are going on. Obviously, I'll tell you about what's going on for those that are, you know, at work or haven't got the fights and want to try and keep up to date with what's going on. Or maybe you've got it and you just want to kind of share your thoughts. I mean, obviously, the community is going to be on fire tomorrow. It's going to be absolutely red hot. So, yeah, lots of excitement. Anna Dawes, shout out to you. Febin says, Days, on the bright side, I guess Fiend is better for Raw now that I realise they give him more time and more creative freedom for the Funhouse. Yeah, I mean, the Funhouse we saw on Monday was so much better than what we were getting on SmackDown. I think that on SmackDown, Fox, I think, are definitely more involved, more hands-on than what USA are. I think USA know what they're getting from WWE because they've been with them since the 80s. I think Primetime Wrestling was on USA, and that changed to Raw in 93. So I think you go all the way back to the 80s for WWE's relationship with USA. So I think USA know what they're getting, and they're just kind of like leave them to it. Fox, still relatively new in that relationship, and I think they're a lot more hands-on. So I agree. I think he probably has got more freedom over on USA. Days, you should create a gaming or reaction channel. Shout out Yolanda. Lunatic says, I heard Days died last night. Is this true? Is this a clone? It is true. The version of me that you see on each individual stream then dies at the end of that day, and then you get a brand new There's like a conveyor belt that's just churning out daisies. There's like a days factory down the road. So yeah, I'm here now, but UFC tomorrow you will get a different version of me. But we're all exactly the same. It's the same programming system that we run on, so you'll never notice a difference. So that's good, isn't it? WWE should take Lars off TV. That's why they are still putting him on the show after what came on after the return. Those messages were bad, says Wrestling Days fan. Khabib will win by submission. Yeah, I've still got Khabib winning. I'm leaning that way as well. Evening Days. Hello, Aussie. Hope you're well, my friend. Never been more ready for a card than I am tomorrow. That's what I'm saying. It's huge. Whittaker Cannonier. Who have you got? Cannonier. I've got Cannonier. I think it's his time. I think part of that is I want it to be Cannonier because I want to see Cannonier Adesanya. We've already seen Whittaker Adesanya, and it's Cannonier's time. So I'm hoping that Cannonier can get the job done. I think it's very close. I think Cannonier's coming in as the underdog. Whittaker, obviously former champ, brilliant fighter, had a war with Darren Till recently. But Cannonier, I just think is, I don't want to say equally as good, but has got potential to get the win. Let's put it that way. Has got potential to get the win. It's going to be a great co-main. And the main, as we said, is one of the fights of the year. So yeah, lots of excitement for tomorrow. Match of the James says, Days, I don't know if we cleared the air on this or if we've all forgotten, but I laughed so hard. Shout out to Match of the James. Days, if you had to get rid of one moment, would it be the Montreal Screwjob or Hogan slamming Andre? Why would you get rid of Hogan slamming Andre? Why would you get rid of Hogan slamming Andre? I don't know. To be honest, I don't know what I'd get rid of. I wouldn't want to get rid of either. I think both of them were really, really iconic. So if I had to get rid of one, I would get rid of the Montreal Screwjob, I suppose. I wouldn't want to touch Hogan Andre at all. For me, it is wrestling. That the build, the match, the slam, the face-to-face. When I think wrestling, the image that comes to mind is Hogan and Andre face-to-face. That's it. That's wrestling to me. That's wrestling. That is the irresistible force versus the immovable object. That is the undefeated giant, 15 years undefeated. Not really, but whatever. Against Hulkamania. Heel versus face. WrestleMania. The biggest WrestleMania of all time back in the day. And, I mean, main events just don't come any bigger than that. Hogan, Andre the Giant, that is wrestling to me. I wouldn't touch that with a barge pole. If I had to lose some, I'd lose the Montreal Screwjob. 7-star, shout out to you. Brony says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you tonight? I'm concerned, Brony, to be honest. It's a go-home show. It's on FS1. There's no matches that have been announced. There's a few talking segments, which should provide some interesting moments. Obviously, no Funhouse because the Fiend has moved. So I'm concerned. So excitement is about 6.5. Like really, just about there. I'm more distracted by the weekend. Like for me, I just want tomorrow. I just want Sunday. I just want Monday, actually. Of the 4 shows that we've got coming up in a row. So we've got tonight, we've got tomorrow with UFC, we've got Sunday Hell in a Cell, we've got Monday with Raw. Tonight's the one I'm least excited for. My cousin is in the Thunderdome, says Evan. Very cool. Days, how are you doing? I'm fine. Is this live on WWE TV or the network? It's not, Yolanda, no. These shows go onto the network a month after they've aired. So, no. Wrestling Days fans excited for tomorrow. Days, do you want a mini spoiler? I guess from yesterday's pre-taped Dynamite, it will air on Wednesday. I'll avoid that if I can. Thank you. I didn't even know it was pre-taped, though. That's news to me. I didn't know that Dynamite next week was pre-taped. Wrestling Days fan says Hell in a Cell should be good. Febin says, Days, now that Alexa is there, she and Fiend can attack Taker and Michelle someday. LSW says, Days, I think it's fine if you don't stream NXT next week. Don't completely give up streaming NXT. Brother Nero says, without the screw job, announcer Vince wouldn't have turned into Mr. McMahon, and we would be watching WCW right now. I'm not sure that's true. I think, they'd planted the seeds for Austin and Vince before Survivor Series, so it's an interesting thought, and I'm not going to say 100%, but I can't say that we wouldn't have got McMahon if the screw job hadn't happened, because even if the screw job hadn't have happened, Brett was still going. Brett was still leaving, but, the screw job happened. That did certainly help the Mr. McMahon character, but, I don't know that I agree that we wouldn't have got him. We'll never truly know, I suppose, is the truth. But I think he was coming anyway. And I just wouldn't touch that Hogan Andre thing. It means more to me. It means more to me than the Attitude Era anyway, to be honest. Jennifer Palmer says, what's your thoughts on Struve versus Tuivasa? Struve is 1-4 in his last 5, but the 9.5-inch reach difference is hard to overlook. Well, I mean, look, what I'm going to say is that tomorrow we're actually I'm starting before the early prelims. So early prelims, the latest we will start is when the early prelims start. And the only reason we would start at that time is if I'm having technical problems and I just, for whatever reason, couldn't have started earlier. But I'm going to try and start earlier, maybe an hour earlier, and go through predictions and thoughts and all of that kind of stuff. So all of that will go into tomorrow. But to answer your question, Tuivasa is the person I would be leaning to. Stefan Struve is 6'11". He's nearly 7 foot tall. He does have a 9.5-inch reach advantage. The problem is that he doesn't have the skills to go with the body. Like, he's got the height, he's got the size, he's got the reach, but he just doesn't have the skills to utilize them. He's easily driven back against the cage. We've seen that time and time again. He's been knocked out before, so don't think this is some kind of unstoppable monster because he's been KO'd. So all you got to do is look back at his record, and as you've pointed out, lost 4 of his last 5. So, he isn't this unstoppable force. So don't let the size has never been a problem for other people. I don't think it's going to be a problem for Tuivasa either. So not the most exciting fight. 2 kind of plodding heavyweights. So yeah, when it comes to the card, I can't say that's a fight I'm licking my lips at. But I've got Tuivasa winning it. Right, let's try and jump down. Days, on Monday, I'm going to go wonky because of Retribution. Okay. That's what I say whilst doing research, says WWE Freak Official. Days, what is your favourite SmackDown superstar? Roman Reigns. Omega. Roman Reigns. Shout out to you. Braun Strowman, Lance Archer would be lit, says Roman. What channel is FS1? Says that one boy. I don't know. I don't know if someone in the chat can tell you the number. I don't have it here in the UK. Days, I think that the Hurt Business should expand and add a couple more members to their group to make them look more powerful, says Match of the James. I am going to disagree. I'm going to say they should add one more, and it should be Naomi, who you named. But to be honest, I think that once you start going over 4, the group becomes bloated. It becomes too big. It becomes a bit unmanageable. I think that with 4, 2 of them can go for the tag titles, 1 can go for the mid-card belt, and 1 can go for the big one. A bit like we see with Undisputed Era, when they had all of the gold. Whereby, if you add in another member, what are they going to do? Are they a spare wheel? Are they going for the 24/7 belt? Like, for me, it starts to become too big, too unmanageable. So, yeah, I wouldn't be adding any more guys. But I think you could add a woman, because then, of course, she can go after the women's championship. So that makes sense to me. So, yeah, I'd add one more. Are you watching Impact? I'm not, Julie, no. I don't watch Impact. I haven't got a clue what's going on with it. I never watch the weekly show, so I'm going to say no. Ndia, is it? Ndia? Shout out to you, my friend. Lesnar is in UFC 4. Yeah, that was a big announcement. So apparently Brock Lesnar's not under contract with WWE now. And as a result, he's signed a contract to appear in the UFC game. So you can actually get UFC 4, which has got Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua in it. And Brock Lesnar has been added to the game as well now. So that's really cool. Yeah, good shout. Bayley versus Sasha. There's no Bayley-Sasha segment announced for tonight. I am expecting one. I am expecting Bayley to sign the contract because she didn't sign it last week. But nothing has been announced. So we're still in the dark on it. Is NWA anymore? Asks 7-star. Well, apparently Power is returning. Rowan is in that United Network Wrestling Network show. Rowan's in that tournament. But we didn't continue with the United Wrestling Network for a couple of reasons. First of all, it was a lot of people that I didn't know, which I don't mind. But they just weren't doing a good enough job for me of giving me the information or making me care about these people. It was literally just announced John versus Bryan. And it would just be like, okay. So there was no like real backstory. I couldn't find a great deal of information on the people. There was a sprinkling of NWA talent, maybe in the main event. Outside of that, it was like just indie wrestlers. People really from Championship Wrestling from Hollywood or Championship Wrestling from Arizona and those promotions. So, I mean, it was clear that NWA were involved, but not as involved as what I wanted. So we'll go back to NWA, but we'll go back when it's NWA. And also, we've started doing Wrestling Escape Pod live on a Tuesday. So that kind of got in the way as well. So that's what's happened with all of that. Ulysses says, what's a dream match you would like to see? I would like the Roman Rock match. I would also like Asuka to have a big match. I think Asuka Steph could be really interesting. I think Asuka deserves something on that level. I mean, like, it's hard to see what big matches are left. She's faced everyone. She's got, she's faced Charlotte. She's faced Bayley. She's faced Sasha. Like, she is the mountaintop now, really. Or on the top of the mountain with a couple of others. So, yeah, I'd love something even bigger. But I don't know what that even bigger is, It's hard to say. Maybe Steph. Maybe Steph is that even bigger challenge for Asuka. But I'd love something huge for her. Would you ever do a wrestling tier list? If yes, do it now. I want to see your opinion on every wrestling federation and their roster. Lunatic Whitey, maybe, is the answer. I don't know. Isn't that the one where you've got like the green and yellow and amber and red, and then you like move them into the different columns, the rows? I don't have any of that set up. Plus, also, I would want to have like the graphics, and I'd want to do a little bit of research into it to make sure I don't forget anything. So potentially, but it's not something we're doing 14 minutes before SmackDown. Asuka Io Shirai, says Shay. That's big for Io Shirai, and it would be a great match, but I don't know that it's that great for Asuka, if I'm being honest. I think it's a great match for Io, but I want something that's going to really cement Asuka's legacy. I want legacy defining matches. And the concern is that she's kind of at the top of the mountain now, and I don't know what the next big match is for her. Like, maybe Ronda, maybe that's it. Maybe Asuka Ronda is the big match that I'm trying to get to. I would love Asuka Ronda and Asuka wins. I would love that. I don't know that they book that, but I would love that. I think if Ronda would be willing to put anyone over, surely it would be Asuka. I don't think Ronda's got any love for Becky. Let's put it that way. And I don't think she's got any love for Charlotte. She might have some affection for Bayley. I don't think their paths crossed. So she might have some affection for Bayley, but I don't think Bayley realistically could beat Ronda Rousey. I think Asuka, I'm not going to say realistically could. I don't think she would. But I think that of everyone, she's the most realistic. So maybe Asuka versus Ronda would be the match I wanted. That could be, yeah, interesting. I think she's coming back soon as well. She's been training a lot, Ronda, so I'm expecting her next year. I'm expecting Ronda actually could be a surprise at the Women's Royal Rumble. I could definitely see that. Days, what if the Bullet Club was Retribution? That would be cool. Yolanda says, Days, on Monday stream, I'm going to go cranky and not work because of Retribution. I'm eating a Cinnabon right now, says Sanic. Breaking news. We got breaking news. Lauren says, do you think Asuka will have a match at Hell in a Cell? I don't think so, because I think it would have been advertised. I think she had a match the other day against Lana. So I think she's already defended the title. So I expected someone to interfere in that match and then that be the match that gets made. Nia Jax did interfere, but she interfered after. She beat up Lana after the match. So there's not really any beef that Asuka's got. So I can't see, unless they're just going to pull something out of the blue. But yeah, I'm not expecting Asuka to get added to that card. Royal Rumble isn't that far away. It's normally the end of January, isn't it? Famous KJ Carter, shout out to you. Basti says, Days, do you remember I was the one who was watching your stream whilst in class? I do remember. Shout out to you, my friend. Aiden says, Days, do you think they would finally end this Mysterio feud and make Seth versus Daniel? Seth versus Daniel. Do you mean Dominic? Oh, Daniel as in Daniel Bryan. I hope so. I hope so. I think Daniel coming back and having some big matches, I think would be really exciting. I think they tried to use him this year to try and get over Drew Gulak, and it just didn't work. So then obviously he's been doing a lot behind the scenes creative wise. I would love to see him come back and take on the likes of Roman, take on the likes of Seth. I think there's some big matches that Daniel could have. So I'm gonna say that I hope so. It doesn't seem like the feud is ending. Obviously Murphy. I think if anything, Seth's going into a feud with Murphy now. I can't see it being Seth versus Daniel, but I would like it. Have you checked out Ultimate Beastmaster? I watched the trailer for it and it looked fun. It looked very similar to a show we had called Total Wipeout. So yeah, it looked fun, but I'm not sure it's my kind of show. I love Seth's Messiah persona, says Blue and White Army. Asuka versus Rhea would be a cool match, says Bayley. I agree with that. Nightmare's mom, shout out to you, my friend. Hope you are well. Andrus says, if you don't like UFC and boxing, would you have the same opinion on Fury and Kane in WWE? I mean, I would think so. That's hard for me to answer because I can't imagine how not liking boxing and not liking MMA would... I can't imagine how it would change that opinion. So I have to say that I believe that it would still be the same. I can't imagine why my opinion would change. For those that don't know, my opinion is that it's fine for fighters to come into like the main roster direct from another fighting organization or another fighting discipline. Like, honestly, if you are, I don't know who it is right now, but if you are the jiu-jitsu world champion, whoever won the Olympics, yeah? Whoever won at the Olympics, the biggest weight, really any weight, but whoever is the current Olympic jiu-jitsu champion, I got no problems with them coming straight into the main roster. I mean, for me, you're legit. Do you know what I mean? You are absolutely legit. You are bringing legitimacy. Like, I would love to see that match. I don't know who it is, but whoever is the current Olympic jiu-jitsu champion, I don't even know if they do jiu-jitsu at the Olympics, actually. I know they do wrestling. But obviously Kurt Angle came from wrestling. So he was an Olympic champion. So you've got wrestling, you've got boxing. There is a world champion of jiu-jitsu, but I just don't think... I think it's got its own world championships. Judo is at the Olympics. So all of these fighting disciplines, I think, really interesting. I'd love to see the judo world champion try and step in there against Roman Reigns. I'd love that. That'd be fascinating. Like, I would feel like they were bringing a very unique skill set, and it's still combat. It's still one-on-one fighting. Someone was saying the other day, like, about Tyson Fury shouldn't be in a WWE ring, and it's like, he's the boxing heavyweight champion of the world. Like, he is bringing some mad skills. Like, everyone got so excited about The Undertaker being the purest striker and how great his strikes were. No one in the history of WWE is a better striker than Tyson Fury. So what happens if Fury comes in, sticks to what he's good at, which is his striking, and, what happens if he clips Roman, or he clips Braun, or he clips someone and he catches them? Equally, could they take him down before he actually throws the punch? I suppose in a way it becomes UFC, doesn't it? But only scripted. It becomes a scripted UFC, which I've got no issue with whatsoever. No issue with it at all. So, yeah, I think my opinion would still be the same. I'm getting quite excited talking about it, actually. I would love to see, like, a scripted UFC. I think really that's what I always want. I always want, like, all these different flavors. I want a lucha from Mexico. I want a catch can fighter from England. I want a strong style wrestler from Japan. I want a jiu-jitsu fighter. I want someone that's good at judo. I want someone that's, do you know what I mean? Like, all these different styles. And I want to see all those fights. Now, you can kind of see them in the UFC, but the problem with the UFC is it's all become... You've got to be so well-rounded now that every fight largely looks the same. Like, now you've got to be good at striking, you've got to be good at grappling, you've got to be good at wrestling, you've got to be good at submissions. You've got to have it all. To get to UFC level, you've got to be well-rounded. But the problem is now that a lot of fights feel the same because everyone can grapple, everyone can strike, or has got some kind of level of striking. It's very rare to see someone that just can't strike at all. Like, they are just pure wrestlers. Or very rare for people that are just pure strikers. Everyone's got some kind of grappling or some kind of striking. So, as a result, it kind of, everything feels a little bit the same. I would love for WWE to go and try a scripted route. I think it'd be so interesting. Really interesting. It's why I found it so disappointing that, like, Sonya Deville, who in NXT was like an MMA kind of fighter, she'd come out and she'd have the black belt on and she was throwing her hands in the entranceway. She's got an MMA background. Like, they were leaning on that when she was Daria Berenato, I think her name is. I think that's her real name. That's the name she went by down in NXT, and she had an MMA background. And as soon as she got brought up, she was put with Mandy Rose. She turned very vanilla, and they didn't really lean on her MMA anymore, and she just became another female wrestler. I just think that's a bit of a problem, where you've not got these outlandish gimmicks, where everyone now has just got their own names, where it is Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, do you know what I mean? Mustafa Ali. It's just people's names. Like, if they're all going to be very generic, then they've got to at least be more exciting in their matches. But everyone's quite generic in their matches as well. So, yeah, it's definitely something I'd love to see changed, tweaked, improved. So, 3 minutes. That is all we have got. We had a scripted UFC called Raw Underground. I mean, it just wasn't, was it? I mean, there was no weight classes. There was no different styles. I mean, can you tell me what Dabba-Kato's speciality was? What was he known for? Was he known as a striker? Has he got great jiu-jitsu? Was he a judo guy? What was his backstory? What's his win-loss record? Like, what do we know about the guy? We knew nothing. It was just a random guy, random name, great look, but nothing more than that. Arturo, what do you know about Arturo? Again, nothing. They did no backstory, no introduction of the characters. You don't know what they were fighting for. There was only a couple of times they announced any fights in advance. There was no weight classes. It was just awful. It was one of the most badly... Now that it's done, we can look at it and see what they delivered and say it was garbage. I was watching it going, okay, there's something in this. We can make a few tweaks and changes and we can make this work. So I was on board with it, but I wasn't on board with what we were getting. I saw the potential. I didn't like what we were getting. Now that it's done, we can look at what we got and say that was trash. That was rubbish. Too many times people getting driven out of that ring, going into the crowd. The ring was very uninspiring. It was literally a wrestling ring without ropes. Like, if you're going to do that kind of fighting, then at least give it its own kind of ring. That was just a wrestling ring without ropes. And as you said, no backstory, no weight classes, no championships, very little promotion in advance. We don't know anyone's speciality, fighting style. I mean, it would have been so interesting if, like, you know, join us next week, the judo master Arturo taking on the brawler. And then, like, next week comes, you get backstories on the both of them. They tell you why they want to win. They tell you what happens when they win, what the next steps are. There's so much they could have done. So much they could have done. I'll agree it's probably the closest that we got to UFC MMA, but honestly, only a couple of steps closer. Right, we are about to begin, my friends. We are about to begin. Stop that. I've stopped it before we actually get a chance to hear the buzzer. Are you ready? Daisy Zelina on SmackDown. Yes. Friday Night Tuckdown. I saw Tuck was trending and I got so excited, and it was something to do with Rudy Giuliani, and I was like, oh, is he in a relationship with Tuck now? So, I did get excited the other day when I saw Tuck was trending. Right. Daze, tell me what's happened. Nothing. Right now, we've gone into the Thunderdome, and there's a graphic talking about the tribal consequences. Chalmers says FS1 in the US, BT Sport 2 in the UK. Tonight, we've got Law and Otis. Law and Otis tonight. So it is going to be the trial. So we've got Roman talking. We've got Law and Otis. We've got the Kevin Owens show. Okay, Kevin Owens show. So another talking segment. So what's this going to be? Everyone's where they should be. Yeah. So this is the first. There we go. So, first edition of the Kevin Owens show on SmackDown. I can't watch SmackDown. It's not showing up. Hello, BBBYPSI. Former four-time WWE champ. Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan. So, Daniel Bryan's making his way down. This is a good way to start the show. This fills me with hope that Daniel Bryan is going to be used on a more regular basis. So, Kevin Owens show with Daniel Bryan. Oh, man, I mean... Could you imagine if we get Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan feud? That would be pretty tasty. Daniel Bryan. If you are watching and you're not subscribed as well, hit the subscribe because we are about 50 subs away from 209,000. We're about 50 away, that's all. So shout out to everyone that's joining us. Right, Daniel Bryan is here. Big smile on his face. Smiley Daniel Bryan takes a seat on the Kevin Owens show. I wish this had more of a set, to be honest. It is literally just a couple of KO show signs and a couple of chairs. SmackDown is on FS1, yes. Seth is going to interrupt, says JB17. Wrestling Days fan says it's a good way to open the show. Cora says great segment. Do you think AEW is better than NXT? Surely you join us on a Wednesday, Robin. Surely you know the answers to these things. Mason says, imagine Retribution versus Hurt Business at War Games. That'd be fun. Daniel says that SmackDown's superstars are unparalleled. He's talking about people that are stepping up like Jey Uso and Big E. One thing that will make SmackDown better wow. Daniel Bryan says the IC belt should be defended every week. Wow, Sami Zayn is going to love that idea. IC belt defended every week. It's pretty cool. Oh. Kevin Owens wants to talk to Daniel about the tag titles. Kevin says, I've never been a tag champ. And Daniel Bryan's like, yeah, but you have betrayed a lot of friends. This is a good segment. This is fun. Easy to watch. Team name? Team. Kevin Owens says, we would be even better than you and Kane. Now, Dolph's coming out. Are we going to get Daniel Bryan and Kevin Owens versus Dolph and Rude later, do you think? We've got Dolph and Rude coming out. Kevin Owens' turn coming, says Only here for the comments. What channel is this? It's on FS1 and BT Sport 2. Why? Okay, well, look. I can see this leading to a tag match. Dolphy Ziggles? Why is Dolph wearing a SmackDown hat? I mean, I know this is SmackDown, but why is he wearing a hat? I don't understand. Okay, Street Profits are coming out. Dun, 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 dun. Do you reckon this could be a triple threat tag that gets added to Hell in a Cell? We did say there was no tag match at Hell in a Cell. I love their music. I do love their music. And the cups. Blue and gold. On my TV, FX1 is the World Series. That would be Fox 1. You want FS1. There seems to be people really struggling to find the show tonight. Right, we've got, but if you're not watching, we've got Street Profits, we've got Ziggler and Rude, and in the ring, we've got the Kevin Owens show. Owens and Daniel Bryan. Owens has just asked Daniel Bryan, would he be interested in being his tag partner? John says, turn the Street Profits heel. I don't like them. That's a good shout. I find they are annoying. I love the entrance music. Okay, now we've got Nakamura and Cesaro. So, what is this? Is this like an introduction to the SmackDown tag division? There's too many tag teams that don't have tag team names. That's what I'm noticing. Too many tag teams without tag team names. Daniel Bryan says, let's test your theory about how good we would be. 8-man? 8-man. Oh, I didn't want an 8-man. Here's Adam Pearce. Right, we've gone to commercial break. If that leads to an 8-man, I think that's a bit disappointing, but... finally, the tag teams are being used well. A 4-team tag team match. Adam Pearce came running down, but I don't know what he was going to do. Nakamura is buried, says NBA YT. 2 versus 2 versus 2 versus 2 at Hell in a Cell. I'm guessing it's going to be 8-man. I'm guessing it's going to be 8-man. A triple threat for the tag titles in the main event, excluding the Street Profits, says Tatiana. I'd be down for that. I agree. It's great to see the tag team division getting a bit of a spotlight. I just wish some of those teams had team names and just felt more like teams. So, like, you know, Rude and Ziggler, they've only been together for a very short time. Obviously, Daniel and Kevin Owens look like they've literally just been thrown together. We've still got Nakamura and Cesaro that don't have a team name, but at least they've been teaming together for quite a while now. Yeah, I think it's a bit of a shame. Certainly when you think that we've, you know, had so many great teams in NXT, and you kind of look at where we are now with the tag division on SmackDown, and it is just largely a lot of single stars that have been thrown together. So, yeah, it is a bit of a shame. But, yeah, I'm expecting an 8-man when we get back. Tariq says, what channel is WWE Smackdown on? It's on FS1. Name that tag team. I think it's high time WWE brings back the GMs. I miss the backstage segments that they used to have. I think they added to it, yeah, I do agree. Certainly Paige. I think Paige was excellent. I think Mick Foley was so-so. But I agree, the backstage segments were pretty interesting. Darby Allin, shout out to you. Lennon Young, shout out to you as well. Light says, I'm not able to watch it because of the stupid World Series. Yeah, you're not alone. There's a lot of people that are struggling tonight. A lot of people that seem to be struggling tonight. Days, are you dropping the predictions post after this? Yes. Seth Rollins and Alistair should interrupt the tag match. Alistair should become Seth's new disciple. The show is on FS1 because of the World Series. It is. I'm down for Daniel and Owens as a team. I think they should build to a match at Mania because why not? What, you want to see Daniel Bryan against Kevin Owens at Mania? Be excellent. I really like Daniel's idea of the Intercontinental Championship being defended every week. It worked really well when they did the United States Open Challenge with John Cena. So repeating that with the IC title, I think would be a lot of fun. So I kind of felt that was a very interesting comment. I don't know if it was off the cuff. I don't know if it's something they're looking at doing or if it was just a Daniel Bryan thought. But I'm on board with that. The K-Yes-O movement, says Match of the James. That's pretty awful. Yeah, 8-man tag at Thunderdome. Tonight, you can get up to 50% off championship titles. Right, we've gone back to the action, and there is an 8-man tag. 8-man tag. So, boom. That's what we've got right now. The 4 tag teams. Street Profits, Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan against Nakamura, Cesaro, Bobby Roode, or Robert Roode, and Dolph Ziggler. The only problem with this match is who cares? Is the truth. I think it's being used to kind of showcase the tag division, but the only problem is I don't care who wins. Makes no difference to me who wins this match. Joshu, it's on FS1. I thought that was a fire name, says Match of the James. Wow, you thought wrong. I really wanted SmackDown on Fox 4, not FS1. That means I have to wait another week, says Diego. Yeah, this really sucks. I've got to be honest, I didn't realise that it wasn't a widely available channel. I thought that you guys would easily be able to find it. I didn't realise that it was hidden away. I mean, here in the UK, it's gone from BT Sport 1 to BT Sport 2, but that's nothing. It's not gone to any crazy channel. It's just moved down a channel, that's all. But it seems like FS1 isn't available to everyone, is what I'm reading between the lines, because There's a lot of people asking for where SmackDown is. Baseball really is the best, says Sheila. All I'm going to say is that you're not really missing anything. I mean, we got Street Profits, Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan taking on Ziggler, Rude, Nakamura, and Cesaro. It's a nothing match. Doesn't really matter who wins. Nakamura with a kick to the side of the head of Montez Ford whilst the referee wasn't watching. So a little bit of heel work by Shinsuke. Right now it's Dolph Ziggler in the ring with Montez Ford. In comes Robert Roode. Big strike by Robert Roode. Montez Ford is over in the heel corner. He's quite a distance away from Daniel and Kevin and Angelo Dawkins. Kick out. Kick out by Montez Ford. In comes Cesaro. Nakamura in his red and black attire. Robert Roode in green trunks. Daniel is in kind of like dark blue with... it's kind of like a just really awful looking green. It's not even like a really good green. I like it when he wears brighter ring attire, Daniel. I don't like these kind of darker colours. Not very exciting. Daniel's attire is a bit weak. I'd love to see Daniel wrestling like white trunks with like just some kind of logo on. I think that would look on the side. Just something really classy. I just don't like his ring attire here. This should be on the network at the same time. They wouldn't get the TV money if they did that, though, would they? Fox pay a lot of money to have SmackDown. If it was going to be on the network at the same time, they wouldn't pay that money anymore. And WWE heavily rely on that money. Daniel Bryan has been tagged in. Uppercuts coming in by Daniel Bryan. Drives Cesaro back against the ropes. Cesaro reverses. Big kick by Daniel. Daniel pulls down that top rope. Daniel going against the ropes. Suicide dive. Man, I tell you what. I would love to see a Daniel Bryan-Cesaro singles match. How great would that be? Just imagine that for an incredible match. Daniel Bryan versus Cesaro. Crossbody by Daniel. Cesaro catches him. Into the corner goes Cesaro. Nice drop kick in the corner by Daniel Bryan. Reversed by Cesaro. Bryan goes over to the other corner. Jumps over the top. His knee kind of gave out there, Daniel Bryan. Is he playing possum? Uppercut by Cesaro. Kevin Owens has come round. He's checking on Daniel. Cesaro is still working here on the knee of Daniel Bryan. I don't think this is a legit injury. Ooh, we go to commercial break. Great to see Daniel Bryan back in the ring. I agree. Tatiana says, did Mama Days appreciate the chair shots? I wouldn't use the word appreciate. Days, WWE should have some kind of website where fans around the world can send their creative ideas and WWE could use them, says Febin. Yeah, but I mean, it'd just be inundated. You'd never get a chance to go through them all, would you? Plus, don't people pretty much do that? Isn't that called Twitter? I think people pretty much share their thoughts on what they'd like to see on Twitter, what their dream matches. Pretty sure if you go to Twitter and just type in WWE Dream Match, you'd be able to see people's dream matches. WWE should have made a deal with Fox to run SmackDown instead of the second half of an NFL doubleheader on Sunday. It could have served as a pre-show to the pay-per-view, says John Costello. Quadwo says, Days, do you think Roman should take the title to WrestleMania 37 and walk out as champion? Yes. 100%. 100%. 100% he should, because he should take the title there, because he's the best thing they've got going right now. He's always been good in the ring. That's never been a problem. But now he's got Paul Heyman and he's got this heel attitude and everything. Definitely. Who are you going to put the belt on that's better? There isn't anyone. So eventually you can put it on someone like Big E, but it's too early. And if you're going to do Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania, which is what I hope they do, you can't have Rock win. There's no benefit to Rock winning. Roman has to beat The Rock. Rock has got to put Roman over. Because it just makes it even more exciting when someone does beat Roman. And I honestly think that person should be Big E. I think that person should be Big E. I might not take that belt off Roman until WrestleMania 38, you know. Straight up. WrestleMania 38. That might make some of you cry because it's a long way away. But I love long title reigns. I think they bring legitimacy. I think that we've seen people like AJ be champion for like a year. I mean, Roman's only recently just become champion. So I think if he was champion still in a year's time, you'd be on the road to WrestleMania 38 by that point anyway. So it would soon go. It wouldn't be any great hardship. So, yeah, I wouldn't take that. If I was booking it, he would lose the belt to Big E at WrestleMania 38. He would have faced The Rock at WrestleMania 37. He would have beaten a load of big names. Like, Roman would feel unbeatable. I'd make it seem like he is just the biggest heel of all time. And I'd make it so that it's... Do you know what I mean? When he does lose, it's a massive deal. It's a massive, massive deal. Because Big E deserves that. I think Big E is the one. I love the idea of Big E saying that not only is he going to beat Roman, but he's going to pin him for 5. That's what Big E used to do down in NXT. He used to pin people for the 5 count. And do it at WrestleMania. Have him beat Roman. And he gets a 5 count. You can make it a stipulation. You could make it so that Roman only needs a 3 count. Big E needs the 5. You know, Roman can be like, okay then, big guy. If you're that confident, then why don't we revisit your past? If you want this championship, you're going to have to pin me for a count of 5. That would be really interesting. Right, anyway, we're back. We've got Daniel in the ring with Cesaro still. Cesaro working on that leg still. Roman Reigns should stay champion, says Laurie. Ashley Jury, shout out to you, says, Days, hope you are well. I'm here as it's half term. Unfortunately, I have to isolate as people tested positive in my school. I hope everyone is keeping safe and well. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully you haven't tested positive, my friend. I mean, what I would say is that it doesn't seem to affect young people. But obviously still, it's not something that you want to get. Yeah, self-isolate, watch loads of TV, look after yourself. Not the worst weekend to self-isolate, in all fairness. Slingshot into the corner by Daniel Bryan. Way overdue for the Street Profits to lose their title. I do not like them much, says BBBYPSI. Is Sting coming back, says Michaela. I haven't seen any rumours that he is. I would love him to. I'm a Sting fan. So yeah, I would love for him to come back. I think he said he'd come back for one more match. And I think a cinematic match against Undertaker would be awesome. But it was really interesting because during that Undertaker documentary series, Undertaker said like how hard it is to do those cinematic matches. He was like, it's just as hard as doing a normal match because the days are so long. You know, a large part of it is like getting the blood circulating and getting into that rhythm. And he says like in between takes, your body kind of settles back down. So you've got to get back into the rhythm again. And at his age, you kind of, you know what I mean, where your joints are starting to get a bit stiff. It was really taking its toll. By the end of the day, Undertaker was suffering. He found the cinematic match hard to do, which I thought was so interesting, because I really thought the cinematic match could be the future for him. It could prolong his career, but seemingly not. Angela Dawkins has been tagged in. He collides into Nakamura. Face first, Nakamura goes down. 1, 2. Kick out by Nakamura. Kevin, I did hear, yeah. Yuri Butler, shout out to you. I don't think either should win. Just end with both respecting each other. What, Undertaker Sting if we got that match? Yeah, difficult to book. I would lean towards Sting winning. I think Sting deserves a win at WrestleMania. I don't think Undertaker needs it. I don't think that's the match that Undertaker should retire on, though, to be honest. Undertaker losing to Sting as his retirement doesn't feel right. I want him to put someone over, and I think it should be AJ. I think AJ lost that Boneyard. Oh, Cesaro using the ropes, but the referee has spotted. I can see AJ Undertaker. I really can. AJ Undertaker, normal match. AJ wins. Undertaker properly retires. I can see that. Kevin Owens with a cannonball to the outside. Big splash by Montez Ford, comes crashing down on Cesaro. 1, 2, 3. I bet, in years to come, when these superstars are giving like shooting interviews, I bet a lot of them are going to say how much they hated that big splash from Montez Ford. I can't see any way that doesn't hurt. I really think that hurts. I think that's one of the moves that a lot of superstars probably really just do not want to be on the receiving end of. It really looks like it hurts a lot. To have a guy of that size go that high and come crashing down on you. We've got Daniel Bryan and Montez Ford shaking the ropes. Sting is 61. Do not think he would put on a great match. Oh, he wouldn't. But they could do a time limit match like they used to, says BYPSI. Yeah. It wouldn't be a great match. Even Undertaker said it's one of those matches. He gets it a lot that people want him and Sting. But he says that it's one of those matches that's better in your head than in reality. And I totally get it. Equally, I don't care. I still want to see it. I think a big part of it is the face-to-face. Right, Otis segment now. Law and Otis. Bum bum. They're making it out to be like Law and Order. We're in a courtroom. We got Miz. We got Morrison. We got Ron Simmons. Who's the judge? JBL. So it's like wrestler's court. So JBL is the judge on this. So Miz is suing Otis. What do you think of the Roman Reigns Jey Uso match at Clash of Champions? I loved it. Thought it was great. Great story. Maybe a little bit slower than what I don't know. I mean, like, it was kind of very slow paced, but the story was excellent. Miz says he's here for the truth. Miz says that he can quote lots of different cases that support that he is right here. Miz won Money in the Bank. Anyone who deserve it if they win, John Morrison. What, you want to see John Morrison get it, Nobfreeze? I think we all knew this was going to be like a fun, silly segment. Tucker should be there as a friend, says Lone Star Friend. Right, Otis is going to speak now.
I think I deserve the Money in the Bank contract because I won the Money in the Bank last
Otis says, I think I deserve the Money in the Bank contract because I won the Money in the Bank contract. I gotta be honest, Okay, he's fired his attorney. Okay, that was awful. I mean, that was awful. Oh, yes, this isn't awful. The EST. Bel-Air time. Man, they're making her feel like a massive deal. Yes, the sharpest, the roughest, the baddest, the quickest, the toughest, the sassiest. I can tell you that much. I'm on my own. Why are they talking all over her entrance? Let her come out and just... Look at her attire, man. White with the Smackdown logo all over it. Looks awesome. She is the future. Spinning her hair around as she makes her way down. Love that ring attire. Dun 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 dun. Bel-Air. Well, that was certainly some. Yeah, that court thing is awful. Sucks. It's not even funny. We want Bianca. Bianca looks incredible, doesn't she? Don't know who Bianca's facing yet. Isn't that funny? I said earlier I wanted to see Daniel in white. Because I think white looks classy. Bianca's come out in white with the SmackDown logo all over. Looks incredible. She made that herself as well. She makes all of her own ring gear. I think she makes the Street Profits ring gear as well. Just brilliant. Future champ. Big future star. Just brilliant. Yeah. I've got nothing bad to say again about Bianca Belair. Bianca is the best. I wouldn't go that far. I mean, we do still live in a world where Asuka's around. But she's right up there. I still can't believe that we are getting Seth versus Murphy tonight, says Lauren. The video package for Belair is fantastic. Days, Bianca versus Sasha, WrestleMania 37. That would be good. Bianca looks awesome. And so impressed that she does her own gear, says Trini. Shout out to you, Trini. The Friday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins. I don't think that's who Bianca's facing. Miz and Morrison better not break out into a song, says RJ Madma. Days, what's your take on Bray revealing that he's got some kind of other secret monster in him, which is much more stronger than the Fiend? Something which he could reveal as the Fiend starts losing often. I've not heard him say that, Febin. Where's he said that? Because that has definitely passed me by. Days, imagine Taker passing the torch to Damian Priest. That would be good. That would be good. I like Damian Priest. Think he's got a great look. Bianca is getting a push. Yes, she is getting a massive push. That video package is absolutely incredible. They've done a lot of vignettes to kind of really build her up and make her seem like a massive, massive deal. Because she is a massive, massive deal. So, yeah, really excited to see her get going now. Don't know who she's facing. They haven't announced. I don't know if it's going to be... I didn't see a jobber in the ring. So, I don't know if it's going to be someone pretty low on the totem pole. Or if they've brought someone in. We'll find out soon. I like Undertaker and Kane, Ken Shamrock, The Rock, Hardy Boys, Big Show, Stone Cold. I like watching them on YouTube, says Yuri Butler. Shout out to you. Days, are you a glitzy gladiator? Asks Lucas. I'm not, unfortunately, no. I'm not. I'm lazy lizard. Right, we're about to go back. Zachary says, I don't care about Bianca Belair. That's fair enough. She doesn't care about you either. Right, Hell in a Cell. Official theme. Holy Wars. Welcome to my hell. That is the official theme. We're backstage. We got Street Profits celebrating with Kevin and Daniel. Daniel said, fist me, boys, and Kevin Owens choked on his water in the background. Oh, here's Sami. Yeah. I heard you out there. Okay. I don't share your vision. I dictate the terms. I dictate how often it gets defended. Going forward, whatever visions you might have, keep them to yourself. I'm going to do things my way. There we go. Daniel got told. The Great Liberator. It is Zelina. So there we go. These two obviously have faced before. Zelina poisoning Montez Ford. There we go. Yep, Zelina. Do you remember when they were trying to really build Zelina up? Trying to convince us that she was on Asuka's level. And now she's being fed to Bianca. Zelina goes up to the... oh, nice slap there by Zelina. Bel-Air grabbing Zelina by the hair. She picks up and hurls Zelina down. Bianca Bel-Air deadlifts 415 pounds. She is incredible. Zelina working on the arm of Bel-Air. Bel-Air picks up, slams down Zelina. The blue lips that Bel-Air's got on her ring attire, I wish they weren't there. That's the only criticism that I've got about her ring attire. Nice shoulder tackle. Down went Zelina. Bel-Air walks over. Standing moonsault by Bel-Air. Kip up by Bel-Air. Smile on the face of Bel-Air. Very pleased with herself, and so she should be. Also, just another thing. Her boots, the glitter on her boots is silver. That would be awesome if it was blue, to kind of match the rest of her outfit. She's kind of got like blue glitter on those lips, so it would have made sense if the boots had been blue. But I'm guessing maybe those are just boots that she had anyway. I don't think she's decorated those. Zelina comes over, goes for double knees. Bianca Bel-Air catches her. Big right hand. It was kind of a forearm to the chest. Stomps on Zelina. She's gonna deadlift. She's gonna deadlift Zelina. Picks her up. She's got her up to here. Yeah, nice. And she's got her into a gorilla press. Yes, gorilla press. She just deadlifted Zelina. Parades her around. Throws her into the corner. Zelina goes down. Up on the shoulders. 1, 2, 3. Bel-Air wins. Bel-Air wins. Very good showing. Lock Sami in Hell in a Cell. Throw away the key. Yeah. Good show. Good showing. Big smile on her face. Now we got a video package for Lars. We're 17 minutes away from the halftime scores. 17 minutes away. We're just seeing video package for Lars Sullivan. Zelina Vega is awful. That was the right result, says Brony. That match was Goldberg versus Lesnar, says K Talents. Have we got Lars next or something? There he is. Well, we just went to commercial break here in the UK, so... and now we've got an advert. Khabib versus Gaethje. Is Gaethje the one? Is Justin Gaethje the one? Khabib Nurmagomedov, 28-0. Justin Gaethje, interim champ. Champ versus champ. UFC 254. What do you think will happen with Seth Murphy tonight? I've not seen that match announced, to be honest. I haven't even seen him announce it on the show, so I've completely missed it. Lewis says, do you think Imperium will ever come to Raw or SmackDown? Do you think NXT will be involved at Survivor Series? I think there's a good chance that NXT will be involved at Survivor Series. I don't know about Imperium. Imperium could be on Raw and SmackDown, make appearances, but apparently Volta doesn't want to move to America, and I don't know if that's changed. So, what do you think about Roman Reigns, Jey Uso at Match Clash Champions? I enjoyed it. Why is UFC 254 on so early? I think it's because of Russia, is my guess. I think they want to make sure that it's on at a decent time for Russia. So, yeah, that's my guess. I think they're trying to make it so it goes on in the afternoon over there. Or the evening, I should say. It's kind of on in the afternoon here in the... It starts at 7 here in the UK, which is prime time. So it's like prime evening here in the UK. I think Russia's like an hour or so ahead. So it'd be starting about 8 or 9 in Russia. So it's clear that they're trying to cater to the European market more so. They must feel like that's where they're going to get the biggest ratings. I don't know why, because you'd think that America would be all over that fight as well. But I don't think it's bad for the US. I think it's still it's not as if it's happening in the middle of the night for you guys, but it just means that it's not middle of the night for Europe as well. What's up? I switched on my PC. Also, you have to remove one of these. Otis, Roman, or AJ. Otis. I don't really have a great deal of love for Otis. NXT maybe won't be a part of Survivor Series because of the recent COVID outbreak, says Amory. Days, can I get a shout out tomorrow? Says Donald Jackson. That might be tricky because tomorrow is going to be on fire. But happy birthday for tomorrow, Donald Jackson. We got Shorty G in the ring with Kayla Braxton. Lars Sullivan versus Shorty G. Shorty G says, I've had enough. I can't get drafted. What am I doing? It's disrespect. We're going to turn this thing around tonight. I belong here. Wow. Shorty G in the ring. Yeah, I mean, this ain't going to go well. This ain't going well at all. I hate it when he does that. It reminds me too much of Ryback. And you just don't want that as a comparison. But here comes Lars. They did have a graphic of Murphy and Seth when Montez was shaking the ropes. Oh, I missed it. Completely passed me by. Right, how long is this going to go? I feel like it's going to be a squash. Duck underneath by Shorty G. Goes over to the corner. Crossbody gets caught by Lars. Fall away slam. Shorty G goes all the way across the ring. Big smile on the face of Lars. It is sick. He's only 6'3". They try to make him out like he's this absolute monster, but he is only 6'3". Shorty G gets planted down. Mo Jones says, win or lose, this needs to be Chad's heel turn. Yeah, well, they need to do something. They need to bring back the Chad name. Wrestling Days fan says, I've no interest in seeing guy wrestle on TV that was sending bad messages to women. Shorty G trying to rake the eyes of Lars. Big strike there by Shorty G. Into the corner goes Lars. Shorty G charging over. Oh, Liger kick. Don't see that often. Went for another one, but Lars moved out the way. Not quite the squash that I thought it might be. He just made the freak mad. Shorty G getting hurled across the ring. Lars should have been drafted to the unemployment line, says Jim Gore. Shorty G gets pulled out the corner. Clothesline by Lars. Lars screaming at Shorty G. Picks up Shorty and plants him down. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Lars does win, and it is a relative squash. So, Shorty G is going to lose. He has lost. Days, do you see Lars being champion one day? I suppose so. Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, it's clear that they are moving forward with him. He's a bigger guy. We know that Vince likes that. He's getting some squash wins. As long as he doesn't do anything stupid from now on, it seems like they're not interested in removing him. So, yeah, I could see him being a champ one day. It doesn't do much for me, if I'm being honest. But Vape Ross Vape says, rumours is that Lars is Trump's son. Why is Kayla trying to interview him now? He's coughing, struggling. Shorty G quits. Shorty G quits, guys. Good. Maybe he'll come back as Chad. Maybe Shorty G has quit and we get Chad Gable coming back. Right, we do have a graphic for Murphy versus Seth that I've now seen. So we do have that coming up tonight. He quits. Elise. I still don't know who this woman is. Back to NXT. That'd be good, actually. Here's Seth. No more Shorty Jobber. First Austin Theory and now Shorty G. Yeah. It's the trend. It's the trend in 2020. Quitting during the show is on trend. Everyone's doing it. I might do it. I might quit during the stream. Just walk away. Friday Night Smackdown, baby, says Chalmers. Who is she? We've seen her a couple of times before. The savior of SmackDown. Seth says, I asked for this match against Murphy. WWE Michael Events says, I bet $10 that Murphy will win. I wonder if it'll be a dodgy finish and we get the rematch at Hell in a Cell. Seth says, I'm the Messiah. I'm the Savior. Murphy's the disciple. Murphy is a walk behind her. What's a walk behind her? Shorty G has quit. Yeah, it'll end in DQ, says K Talents. Imagine if Thatcher does a training segment and Chad Gable answers. That would be good. I like the idea of him going to NXT. We've got Roman sat at a table. He's pushed away some cheese and meats, which look lovely. And he's pushed away some fruit, which also look lovely. Sometimes you just want a pizza. Shorty stays at ringside. Seth will recruit him, says Brother Nero. Days, are you a walk behind her? No, I try not to walk. That's too much exercise for me. The Nico guy says, the damn food on the table. He won't eat that food because it didn't call him the tribal chief. So he doesn't want anything to do with it. For about an hour, he's been shouting at that cheese board, saying, just call me the tribal chief. The tribal cheese. The tribal chief wouldn't eat the tribal cheese. I think he'll go to NXT, says Chelsea fan. Donald Jackson says, Days, when Lars smiles, do you think he looks a little bit like Tyson Fury? I think he looks like a Tyson creep. That's what I think he looks like. Creepy McCreepster. I've always been a Roman fan, but now I have more love for Roman than I have in years since his heel turn. Days, who's your favourite tag team in WWE right now? Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns. Tribal Chief sucks, says Zen. Well, that's probably why he didn't eat the food. Then perhaps if it had been mushed up and he could have it in a straw, then, because there's nothing nicer than a cheese and ham selection put in a blender, put into a smoothie. Maybe that's what he wanted. BBBYPSI says, Seth is the Friday Night Froto. He was a savior. Do you mean Frodo? Or is it spelt Froto? Do you mean out of Lord of the Rings? The Hobbit one. Don't know anything about him. I don't know anything about him, so I cannot comment. Shorty G quits. Yes. What do you think of R-Truth? I think he's fun. I think they're probably using him the best that they can. Right, we are going back to SmackDown. It'll be halftime scores at the next commercial break. Halftime scores at the next commercial break. The message says, can I be a Wrestling Days fan? Sure. Sure. Right, we've just got a little video package for the WWE Network. It will be cool. Chad Gable is going to go to NXT when win the NXT Championship and have a dominant run. Wow, he's backstage. Here's Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce asking, how you feeling? Did you say you quit?
Yeah, I quit. I quit being Shorty G.
Yes! Yes!
I'm done being a character that talks about, oh, just accept who you are.
Accept who you are.
It'll all be fine. You know what I don't accept? I don't accept this Shorty G crap.
Yes! Yes! I'm not going to be a smiling punching bag anymore. I don't accept this Shorty G. Beep. You can't achieve everything you want, including Shorty G. It's only one man. It's Chad Gable. Gable? Not Chad Gable. Yes! Chad Gable! And his name is Gable. Chad Gable. Chad Gable is back. Yes! Yes! That's the best thing that's happened all week. Right, we've got Bayley in the ring. Thank you, Vinny. Vinny Mac. Come to his senses. Chad Gable is back. Bayley promo. That's huge, man. Bayley says that she did a load of interviews and they just kept asking the same questions about Sasha. Are you afraid? No, I'm not afraid. Sasha doesn't deserve this. And the last thing I want to do is give her what she wants. Where's this going? I mean, she's got to sign it. Gable's back. I'm Sasha Banks. My name is bigger than your title. Really? I don't think so. You know what I think? I think you got a little too conceited and your head is so big. Bayley looks like she's ready to wrestle. Could she wrestle in that? Bayley says, I won't sign the contract. You might as well burn the damn thing. Ding dong, hello, you are not the boss of me. Here comes the boss. What's she wearing this week? she looks cool, man. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Sasha looks great. Boss time. Does she say ding dong? Yes. Her t-shirt even says ding dong. Sasha's come down with the contract. Days, if Fiend is stale, I'd have him lose in a buried alive or casket match, and then we see Bray destroy the whole fun house and says he'll be back with some you wish you never saw. Bayley says, I'm not signing it. Bayley with a chair. Goes after Sasha. Sasha grabs the championship. Sasha says, sign the contract. You can have your title back. This is this is awful. Knee strike by Sasha. They were... Sasha's put the chair over the head of Bayley. She says, sign the contract. Kick by Bayley. I just always feel like these two... I thought the beatdown was brilliant. She's got Bayley in the chair. This is decent. Bayley signing it. She's got like a camel clutch on her through the chair. Yeah, I always feel like they're just messing around. I always feel like they're just having fun. I don't ever feel like... That segment there, it feels like two friends just having fun. I don't feel like, give me back my title. Kind of, do you know what I mean? Pulling on the belt and... I don't know. I kind of feel like the split was done. The beatdown was amazing. When the payoff to like them turning was awesome. But the stuff we've had since has felt scripted, kind of like two friends just having fun. And that's what this segment felt like as well. Like, Sasha didn't come down with... She just kind of got in the ring. She was like, sign it. Sign it. I wanted to see more anger. I wanted to see her, like, just everything she's been through, you know? And if you think about it, they kind of went from, you know, Bayley missing with a chair, Sasha ducking underneath, grabbing the belt. Give me back my belt. It's just... I don't know. It's just lacking that punch. It's lacking that execution. It's just... It feels like you're going through the motions. The end of it was very good, though. Camel clutch through the chair. That was really good. We're back to this wrestler's courtroom thing. Morrison says it's not the physical scars, it's the scars in here that hurt the most. He's getting a bit upset. Oh, Rey Mysterio's on the stand. 8 walked in, and only 1 walked out, and that was Otis. Rey Mysterio says, as far as I'm concerned, he should have the money in the bank. Asuka's on the stand. Yes. And she just went full on Japanese.
Every single word, player.
Yeah, Teddy Long. Holla, holla, holla. Ask her on the stand. That was fun. Holla, holla, holla. I mean, look, this is silly, and a large part of it hasn't been funny, but this bit's been okay. But this is, I suppose, like Wrestlers Court that you've heard about. I wish they'd build it that way. And I wish Undertaker was the judge, because Undertaker used to be the judge on Wrestlers Court. Teddy Long. Holla, holla, holla. Miz asking Tucky, has Otis neglected the contract? Tucky, this is great, says Tattoo. JBL says, order in the court. So, JBL's going to give his verdict after a short recess. SmackDown is better than Raw at the moment, says RJ. We got a little advert for Hell in a Cell. You know what? It's not too bad, says the Nico guy. Holla holla player, says Sean Reset. Space Ghost says this is funny. Ryan says that made me laugh. Teddy Long is great. Steven says this is stupid. I bet Morrison wishes he hadn't come back. He seems to be having fun with it. Get your scores in. Get your scores in. What do you score? SmackDown so far. It's actually coming up to 10 minutes past, so we are a little late, but there hasn't been a commercial break in about 10 minutes. So get your scores in. What do you score? SmackDown so far tonight. Teddy's going to make Miz go one-on-one with The Undertaker, says Brandon. Who have you got on the main card for UFC? Well, we'll do the full predictions tomorrow, but I've got Khabib in the main event. LD Cool says 9 out of 10. Mark says 6. Who should win the 2021 Rumble? Maybe Big E. Might be too soon for Big E. It's hard to say. 7, 2.25, 7, 8, 7, 5.5, 7, 7, 8, 7, 5, 7, 8, 3, 5, 9, 9, 6.75, 6.7, 5.9, 7, 6.9, 7.5, 8, 7, 90 out of 100, 6.75, 6.75, 6.4, 7.7. Yes, don't forget, there is no more Shorty G. That has to be reflected in the score. 7.7 Shorty G is out of 10. 1 out of 10. 6.9, 7.4, 2.25 because of Lars Says Wrestling Days fan. Let's put Days and Tuck in a tag match player. Is Brock back in UFC? No. 7, 8.25, 6, 6.4, 7, 6.75, 7.4, 7.25, 6, 1, 5, 2.25, 8, 7.8, 10, 9, 7, 2, 6.42, 8, 5, 5.8, 5, 7, 7.4, 7, 4.5, 10,000, 5.33, 5.6, 8, 10, 9, 7.5, 6, 7.7, 8, 1, 10,000 again, 2.222, 7.5, 8, 7.42, 6.7, damn, 5, 7.42, 6.5, 6, 10 out of 10, 7, 6, 10 out of 10, daddy. We're a little bit all over the shop with our scores tonight. A little bit all over the place. Days the auctioneer. Or the horse racing commentator. It's Wonder Boy on the outside now. Wonder Boy with five lengths to go now. On the inside is Vinnie Mac. Vinnie Mac coming in with Wonder Boy on the outside. Wonder Boy. I'd love to give that a go. But only if Wonder Boy and Vinnie Mac were two horses in the race, because I don't know any other horses. Right, we're going back to the court. Here we go, guys. Law and Otis. Part 3. Something's missing. He says, am I supposed to believe Otis is responsible for emotional distress?
That's pretty much a job description. If those were crimes, Ron Simmons and I would be serving a life sentence right now. And Miz, about your accusation of money in the bank negligence, it is true that Otis has not cashed in yet. But that is not negligent. It is clearly established in the contract that the money in the bank winner has a full year to cash.
Yeah, so the Money in the Bank holder has got a full year to cash in, so he's not negligent.
Have absolutely no choice but to rule in favor of Your Honor. If I may just have one more.
He's about to rule in favour of Otis.
I forgot to submit a key piece of evidence. You were lucky. I had let you interrupt this entire trial.
Miz says he's got one more piece of evidence.
I really think you want to admit this evidence. Bill Simmons, please retrieve the evidence from Miz and post it.
There's a briefcase. Miz has got a briefcase. He was literally about to rule in favour of Otis, but there's now a briefcase. They're making out it's a lot of money. JBL smiling. What happens now?
In light of the new evidence, I have no recourse but to decide in favor of the plaintiff, the Miz.
The Miz wins the case.
You are ordered to appear in WWE Hell in a Cell this week, and you will face the Miz, and the winner will get and
Okay, there we go.
in the bank contract.
Otis versus Miz at Hell in a Cell. The winner gets the Money in the Bank contract. That's what the Miz has won. So it is going to be Otis versus the Miz. Ron Simmons says, damn. Damn! There we go. Otis versus Miz. I would imagine Otis wins.
You know, I wish it was that easy with JBL back in the day. That was absolutely the correct verdict. That was a win not only for WWE, but the entire judicial system, in my opinion.
Corey Graves says that was a win for the entire judicial system. So there we go. So are they using the legends like Teddy and JBL on this segment? Yes, they were actually there. They were on that pre-recorded thing. It's nice. It's all good to see legends, isn't it? Something that I've called for in the past. Teddy was there. Surprised it wasn't a tag match. That was great, says Alex. See, Days WWE does use legends. Yeah, but I think we can agree that it's very, very rare. When was the last time that we saw JBL? I can't remember. I mean, they used him on a kickoff show, but I can't remember him being on used in a storyline. Really, honestly, I can't. I remember seeing Ron Simmons backstage for a Hurt Business thing. Teddy Long pops up once in a while. But, no complaints from me. It's good to see them using legends. Days, who you got on the main card? We'll do it tomorrow, dude. We'll do it tomorrow. As I said, I've got Khabib winning the main event. Cannonier winning the co-main. But we'll run through the full card tomorrow. This SmackDown is so good, says Tattoo. Days, we saw JBL at Money in the Bank. Did we? Did we? I'm seriously not remembering. Was it during the Money in the Bank match? I can remember seeing Vince. What they tried to make out was Doink. Brother Love. I seriously can't remember seeing JBL. Please don't stop watching NXT. Just skip his segment, says Nelson. The Honourable Judge JBL, says Jonathan. Febin says, Days, I just saw a video on YouTube which showed an episode of Total Divas where Tyson Kidd and Natalya go on a double date with a random girl and Big E. JBL was in the Keith Lee segment, says BOD Talks. I seriously don't remember it. Seriously don't remember it. Sanic says, I would love to see Teddy Long as a SmackDown GM again. Why isn't SmackDown on TV right now? It is. It's on FS1. I feel like it was decent. It started picking up when Chad Gable came up, so I'm giving it a 7. Right, here we go. Seth and Murphy. Down, 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 down. So, Seth Rollins versus Murphy. We've got 40 minutes left. That is all, my friends. 40 minutes left. Seth Rollins. I'm sorry, but this is dumb. They should not fight over the case. It's meant for great moments, says Mad Jason. Do you think Bianca Belair is a heel? Don't think so. I thought she was from the vignettes, but not from that match. I would love to see I'd love to see Teddy Long on SmackDown. I gotta be honest, I wouldn't. I was never a fan of him as a GM. JBL was on Payback giving advice to Keith Lee about facing Randy Orton. Okay. Honestly, I don't remember seeing... I can't remember JBL at Money in the Bank. I can't remember him at Payback. Either way, I don't care. It's great to see the legends. So, seeing Ron Simmons, even though we saw him on a little backstage segment a few weeks back, he got more screen time here. If we saw JBL during Payback or Money in the Bank, he got more screen time here. Seeing Teddy Long, it's fun. Like, yeah, I'm just into seeing the legends. It's something I've called for more. So, yeah, good. Good. Why is SmackDown on FS1, says Jordan? Because of the baseball, the World Series. So, yeah, it just got moved for 1 week only. Seth Rollins is very overrated. Sanic says we haven't seen an APA reunion in years. I gotta be honest, I'd like to see some people we don't see. Like, I know we've seen Ron Simmons recently. We tend to see Teddy Long during those, like, reunion shows. People are telling me that we've seen JBL recently as well. It was nice seeing, like, Greg the Hammer Valentine on AEW. Like, that was cool. Haven't seen Bob Backlund in forever. I'd love to see Bob Backlund again. Former 2-time WWF champion. Like, I'd like to see some of them people. I just think they could dig into their history. There's tons of people. I know they're not on great terms with Demolition, for example, but that's such a shame. I feel like they could use Demolition in some way. Like, it'd be really good if they could get them in, just give them a bit of money, get on the same page, and use them for something. I'd love to see Demolition. I think they're probably of the opinion that the casual fans won't know who Demolition are, but there's hardcore fans that do. So, you know, it'd be great to see Demolition. We saw MVP come back. We haven't seen MVP in a long time. We've seen Jeff Jarrett in recent years. Honky Tonk Man's still out there, but I think he's on bad terms as well. Here's Murphy making his way down. Seth is in the ring already. Tuck is backstage. Tuck with a full tuck. Standard full tuck for Tuck. Murphy has gone back to his horrible ripped shorts attire. He's gone back to his pre-disciple attire. Do you know Tuck is in college? Like, she's 16, I think, in college. That is a bit creepy. Full-time Tuck. Aaliyah is back. Yeah. Tuck needs to step up her Tuck game. Yeah, well, you know, you've got to go with what the outfit asks for. So that outfit, it doesn't demand a half tuck or a French tuck or anything. She's just gone full tuck. And Seth says Messiah, Disciple, and Murphy pulling on the arm of Seth. The match is going to end in DQ, says James. Seth needs a gimmick change. Yes. Days Tuck is on a kayfabe breaking streak on Instagram. She regularly posts stories with her boyfriend. I don't know what that means. She's 19. Oh, is she 19? Still don't like it. BBYPSI says, I would love to see Haku and Barbarian make appearances. Haku would be awesome, yeah. Barbarian would be cool. But I think Haku was arguably a bigger star in WWE history. Obviously teamed, didn't he, with Andre the Giant. Regarded as being bad man. But I don't know, is he still doing work with New Japan? I know that he was doing some stuff with New Japan, with Gorillas of Destiny and Bullet Club and everything. JBL tried to give Keith his business card for a shady deal, says Heather. Nico says it still doesn't make it any less weird. Days, where are Liv and Ruby? I don't know, to be honest. I can't even remember what show they're on. Is it Smackdown? I think it is, isn't it? I think they got drafted over here. I don't know. I think this is a go-home, though, isn't it? They're just doing the final touches for Hell in a Cell. Anyone else think this match is a little bit pedestrian at the moment? Doesn't seem like the most exciting thing I've seen. He just keeps saying Disciple Messiah. Big forearm strike by Murphy. Zen says Bullet Club sucks. What about the $1 Million Man? Yep. Saw him at Raw Reunion. Was it Raw Reunion? Raw 25? I think it was Raw Reunion. Might have been both. But he won the 24/7 title, didn't he? And we saw Alundra Blaze. So, commercial break. So, yeah. You could use him for summer. I don't, when I say I like seeing them, I don't mean just like backstage doing nothing. Like, I would like to see them be managers, or I would like to see them brought in to hype up a match, or be really add something, cut a promo, really add something. Not kind of like what we saw from, I mean, Ron Simmons just said a few words there, didn't he? I'd like a bit more, if I'm being honest. I'd like them to use their history, but whatever. They don't. We saw a couple of legends, though, so I'll take that for this week. I used to like what they were doing with Bob Backlund. Do you remember Bob Backlund was put with Darren Young, and he was trying to get Darren Young over. So you had Bob Backlund basically being Darren Young's manager. I was into that. I really liked it. I wasn't so much into the little promos they were doing. The backstage promos were great. Bob Backlund was so OTT backstage. His promos were a lot of fun. If we were doing watch-alongs with Bob Backlund promos, we'd be having a lot of fun with them. You guys would love them. They were out there. He was so OTT. He would get over. So yeah, he was great. But Darren Young just didn't go anywhere, you know. Darren Young could return, says Nobfreeze. Make Darren Young great again. Yes, make Darren Young great again. I think that was 2016, around the same time as the whole Make America Great Again thing. Bullet Club is fantastic. The Bullet Club bunny is total fire. Maybe they moved the story to SmackDown so Tuck can make appearances. Monday is a school night after all, says Lauren. You're absolutely right, yes. You're right, it's the weekend. Yeah, you're right. Shit, it was a nightmare for her. Getting up on a Tuesday after working late on a Monday. Yeah. Do you remember Backlund with Angle? Yeah, that was great. I saw an interview the other day of Angle talking about that, saying that Bob Backlund was so OTT. It was fun, but he couldn't cope with it for too long. Because Bob Backlund is out there. When you say Bob Backlund, I think people think of like old wrestler, boring, quite stuffy. But if you watch him, it's just not true. Certainly, if you watched his promos, the guy is unhinged, man. It's a lot of fun. I've got a lot of time for Bob Backlund. I'm a Bob Backlund mark. I'm a Bob Backlund stan. Mo Jones says, I would care for Seth if his greater good was an actual thing. Like, what does it mean? Is he the greater good? I agree, dude. I agree. The whole not knowing what he's flipping on about. Why is he the Messiah? What is the greater good? Why was Rey Mysterio sacrificed? These are like big questions. There you go, look, Rey. Aaliyah says, I can do what I want. Yeah, Dad. School's out for summer. School's out forever. We don't need no education. Dun, dun, dun. Bit of Pink Floyd. We don't need no thought control. She said, hey, Daddy, leave them kids alone. She should just start going through loads of songs like that. Although, knowing her, she'd probably be doing Blackpink, wouldn't she? Didn't think I knew about Blackpink, did ya? A lot of you are probably like, who's Blackpink? If you don't know who Blackpink are, I can't help you. You're just not hip. You're not hip like me. You're not a go-getter. Knee strike by Murphy, by the way. Murphy goes up to the middle rope. Missile drop kick. Down goes Seth Rollins, who flops over to the other side of the ring. Days, remove one of these WrestleManias. 3, 36, 17, 10, or 1,134. I'd lose 36. 3, you've got Hogan Andre. Ain't touching that. 17 is regarded as the best. 10 is a real favourite of mine. You've got, obviously, the Owen Brett match. You've got the ladder match. And it's right bang when I started watching wrestling. I mean, that's 94, WrestleMania 10. So I ain't losing that either. And I ain't going to lose 1,134 because I hear it's going to be awesome. So, and hopefully we should have crowds back by then. Seth Gets caught by Murphy. Murphy over the top, comes crashing down onto Seth. We got less than half an hour to go. You went from Alice Cooper to Pink Floyd. Yes. To Blackpink. That's quite a transition. Nice double knees by Murphy. Days, I think Seth should have a better gimmick. Yes. Completely agree, Donald Jackson. Who do you think will win? Asks Victoria. What, this match? I agree with the chat. I think there's going to be a screwy finish or a DQ or maybe Seth wins, maybe a low blow. I could see a rematch being made for Hell in a Cell. Maybe the winner gets to walk Aaliyah to school. Maybe the winner gets to pick Aaliyah up from school. Here we go. Seth going against the ropes. Suicide dive by Seth. Drives Murphy into the barricade. Throws Murphy into the ring. Seth, springboard. Flying knee. Glancing knee, says Michael Cole. It's just a glance. It's just a moment. It was a knee moment. Do you think AEW should make more pay-per-view names? Isn't Full Gear the second of the year? I don't think so. They had Revolution, and I don't think we've had a Full Gear in 2020. So, Murphy goes to the outside. Look, Aaliyah is concerned. That is the same look she gives when she realises that she forgot to do her homework. You know, when you get to school and the teacher's like, right, can you start by handing in last night's homework, please? That was my Tuck impression. Tuck's sad. Tuck is sad. That was sad Tuck. We've had a French tuck, we've had a full tuck, we've had a half tuck, a high tuck. Now we've got sad tuck. That's what we've got. Sad tuck. Dalton says, I've been trying for weeks to get into the Thunderdome, and on Monday, the Raw after Hell in a Cell, I'll finally be in. Well, have fun, Dalton. Have fun. What happened to Alexa Bliss? She let him in. Mr. WWE. She definitely let him in. Quinton says, if you would, you push new on the roster to get a WWE Championship, I say Buddy Murphy. Oh, who new would you push? I'd be looking at Big E. But Big E for WrestleMania 38. I don't know if there's anyone that I would necessarily push for the WrestleMania coming up. You'd have to move quite quick on Bianca Belair. I don't think it would work. I mean, Becky Ronda. I don't know if you do Sasha Bayley, but I don't know how you leave Sasha Bayley off the show. I kind of feel like both need to appear. It might be too soon for Bianca. Maybe you have to build Bianca up for WrestleMania 38 as well. WrestleMania 38 is going to be fire. 37 is going to be so-so. Yeah, I don't know. Hard to know if there's going to be anyone new that you can build up in time. Because I really think you're getting Edge Orton for the WWE Championship. Rock Roman. I don't know. I really struggle to see anyone new. But I think you'd have to say frontrunners would be Bianca Belair and Big E. But I feel it's too soon for Big E. Right, we're going back to the action. What's your favourite pay-per-view? WrestleMania. Days, was Sad Tuck on NXT? Sorry, I had to do it. Don't let NXT fans. Was Sad Tuck... I don't even understand what you mean, Nelson. 4 horsemen of WWE versus 4 horsemen of UFC at WrestleMania 38. Oh, that's a good shout. That's a good shout. I heard the worst Mania ever will be Mania 29,718. Against the ropes goes Seth. Knee strike by Murphy. Seth goes down. Murphy has got an opening, guys. Rolls over. Goes for the cover on Seth. Shoulder up by Seth. Shoulder up by Seth. Days, I really want to see an Isaac Yankem return. Buckle Bomb is back, says Butterspark. He went for the stomp but was caught by the knee, says Knob Freeze. We've got Murphy up on his feet. Back elbow by Seth. Murphy is down. Rollins says, "You will respect me." He slaps Murphy. And again. And again. Slapping away. I wonder if Tuck will come running down. I am the Messiah. You are the disciple. Big right hand. Get up. Murphy is getting up. Big strike. Big right hand back by Murphy. Trading blows. Another big strike by Murphy. Rollins is the best. Did you see that Braun Strowman Keith Lee match? Keith Lee kicked out, but the ref didn't see it. I did see. Stomps by Murphy. Goes for the kick. Seth moves out the way. Enziguri kick. Murphy against the ropes. Moves forward. Seth. Inside cradle. Kick out. Big strike by Seth. Seth looking for Falcon Arrow. Hits it. 1, 2. Kick out by Murphy. 2 count. Seth is losing it, says Suffocate Stars fan. Good match, says Creed. Days, Sami Zayn is a real thug. He mentions AEW on Live Raw and nothing happened. He refused to come back to the Performance Center and lost the title only to win it back. On his return, he is a thug. You're gonna learn, Murphy. Take him to school, Seth. That way he can sit next to Tuck. Went for the curb stomp. Roll up by Murphy. Another curb stomp. Keeps missing these curbs. Back elbow by Seth. Top rope enziguri by Murphy. Murphy's got Seth on his shoulder. Seth comes down, works on the arm. Murphy goes down. Here comes the curb. Boom! Curb! Nasty curb! 1, 2, 3. Sethy wins. Seth wins. Curb stomp to Murphy. No DQ. Look, I don't get it. Murphy was a great wrestler, having great matches with Aleister Black, but kept losing. So that's why he became Seth's disciple. They then just kept losing as a team. And now they've split. He's still losing? Aaliyah says, go help him. Ray says, Aaliyah says, if you won't help him, I will. Ray's like, we should just stay out of it. Tuck's on her way, guys. Tuck is on her way. I think she's going to be running down. WWE Michael Event says, oh, he lost, but here's a donation. Shout out to you, WWE Michael Events. A man of your word. Here comes Tuck as well. Moving at a decent speed. Kind of moving at the same speed I should imagine she moves at when she hears the ice cream van. Or if there's a sale at Old Navy. I think that's where the young kids shop. I'm not sure. Ah, she's got them red bottoms. Look, I know about them. Cardi B told me about them red bottoms. She's got them red bottom shoes. Dominic comes down, asks, what are you doing? Seth attacking. Use your red bottoms. Take your red bottoms off. Hit him with your heels. Hit the heel with the heel. Rey Mysterio coming down with a chair. Rey Mysterio's got them fluorescent yellow bottoms. That's what he's got. Look at his. Look at his trainers. He'd be seen in the dark, wouldn't he? Tell you what, if the Fiend attacks now, everything's going to be fine. You're not going to struggle to see Rey. Rey talking to Aaliyah is like, look, I bought them red bottom shoes that you wanted, yeah? And you treat me like this. Look, she's gone over to Murphy. She's checking on Murphy. They're like touching each other and it's all really creepy. I don't like it. They're all very close. Didn't like it. Right, tribal consequences coming up next. Rey will struggle to see you, yes. But good news, Philip. My personality shines in the dark. So, the point of Seth's character is that he is delusional. He is a madman who never mentions what the greater good means because he doesn't know either. He's gone psycho. He thinks he's a god. Yeah, I can get that, but I think that they should have told that story stronger. I think that it wouldn't have hurt to have had a few people saying, what is he on about? Like, no one seems to be questioning what he's going on about. But, you know, it'd be really good if some people would be like, what is he on about? He needs help. We need to try and get him some... do you know what I mean? Like, have Triple H talk to Vince backstage. That would have been awesome. To have told us that. I mean, that's a theory that you have, which is a great theory, and I'm on board with it. And I think it's the best explanation. So I'm not knocking it. I think it's cool. But I think if that is what they're doing, I just think they could have done something to have told the story a bit better. And I think having, like, Triple H have a conversation with Vince, kind of saying, like, what are we going to do, boss? I mean, we've got to get this guy some help. Like, he's not all there right now. There's some real issues going on. They could really explore it. But without that, it just feels very flat. Shout out to WWE Michael Events. Says, I'm going to head out. Have a nice stream, everyone. Well, there's only 15 minutes left of this show. So, shout out to you, though, WWE Michael Events. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate the support, dude. Imtiaz, shout out to you. James Chadwick, shout out to you. Ulysses, shout out to you. Disgusting Noise, shout out to you as well. Sam Hall says, who is your pick for the Rumble? Who is my pick for the Rumble? I don't know. Is the answer. I think I'm leaning to Bianca Belair, and I think I'm leaning to Edge, but I'm not feeling massively confident about either. But those are the two that I'm going with. Do you think Jericho is better in AEW or WWE? WWE. Only 5 matches have been announced for Hell in a Cell, says Brony. That might be enough. They might add some up for the pre-show. But honestly, I mean, you only get 5 matches at TakeOver. So you probably don't need much more. I would have loved to have seen the Prime Time Players versus Crime Time for the tag titles, says Tone. Edge would be a good winner. What's your favourite Edge moment of all time? Well, I mean, obviously a massive moment when he won the championship. I mean, that, like, him getting to that level and cementing himself as a main event star was absolutely huge. But there's been some great Edge moments. Right, we're going back. Days, did you order UFC yet? No, I'm ordering mine tonight. I'm going to order mine tonight as well. I want to make sure that there's no issues. Just get it ordered, get it done. So yeah, I'm going to get on it. Getting on it tonight. Talking Smack live tonight on FS1. Kayla with Montez Ford, Booker T, Daniel Bryan, Bianca Belair, Paul Heyman. Star-studded. Quinton Gilbert, shout out to you. Edge wins the Rumble. Randy beats Drew. That would be good. Roman next, yes. 12 minutes left, and we've got Tribal Consequences, which would be a good name for a future Alliance album, wouldn't it? He's got Universal Truth, and maybe his next album could be Tribal Consequences. With Roman on the ukulele. Right, we're just looking at last week, and Roman bashing Braun with a chair, saying to Jay, "This is how we eat." But we saw him earlier, and he wasn't eating. Days, name your top 5 females in WWE right now. Asuka, Bayley, Bianca, Rhea, and I'm tempted to say Sasha. I'm not sure I am saying Sasha. Tempted to say Io. Maybe Sasha. But I haven't seen a great Sasha match in a while. I think she had a great match at SummerSlam, actually, against Asuka. So I'll go Sasha. But I feel that's a bit predictable. Sasha, Bayley, Asuka, Bianca, Rhea Ripley. I'm happy with it, though. Right, Roman. Making his way out. When I came into the stream, I thought I could not watch SmackDown because my TV is broken, but I have watched SmackDown. Thank you for the update. Are you watching WWE? Yes. Sasha will win. Chalmers sounds like a Roman stan. That's fine, because I'm standing with him as well. Live this Sunday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, Hell in a Cell, Universal Championship, I Quit match. But what happens when Jey Uso says I quit? Because it will be Jey that says I quit. Roman is winning that match. But what happens when it happens? We're about to find out. Welcome to this week's episode of Tribal Consequences. I think someone just showed a Confederate flag. I'm sure I just saw a flash of a Confederate flag on one of the screens. I don't know if that's a bad thing or not. I feel like it's got bad connotations, but I don't know enough about it to be able to say. Right, Roman in the ring with the blue universal. I hate the blue belt now. It might be one of my least favourite looking titles. I wish they would change it. I can cope with the WWE one a bit better, but the blue one just looks awful. Yeah, here's Jey Uso. Jey Uso's in the Tribal Chiefs changing room. I bet it's great to be the Tribal Chief. You changed, Deuce. You've lost yourself. You've lost the family. Oh, it was Jimmy. It was Jimmy. Jay from behind. Yeah. Twin magic. Imtiaz, shout out to you. Congratulations on turning blue. Jay attacking Roman. Ah! Big kick by Roman. That was good, man. This is so good. Flipping love this whole story. Lovely super kick there. How long we got? We got 7 minutes. We still got tons of time, man. Tribal Chief is down. Big splash by Jay. Paul Heyman on the outside. Woo! The wobbly walrus is concerned. Roman's down. Yeah, Oos! Yeah, Oos! We got Oos and Oos! Welcome to the Uso Penitentiary! Bit of twin magic. Took a leaf out the Bella's book. Yeah, Oos! Jimmy and Jay, Roman's having to take on. He's got to worry about both. Although it is in Hell in a Cell. What if Jimmy's hiding under the ring? What if they do twin magic during Hell in a Cell? That could be interesting. Might want to get Paul Heyman to check under that ring before the match starts. This is funny to you boys. You don't understand? I understand. If you make me quit, I'm not the head of the table. I'm not the tribal chief. If you can make me quit. The question is, can you? When I make you quit. And I will make you quit. You will fall in line. You will take orders. You will acknowledge me. You will respect me for all I do for our family. And if you don't, then you're out. Your wives, your children. Your children's children. You're out. You're out the family. You're out. We will all turn our backs on you. I don't know how they're going to do that. How's he going to make Rikishi turn his back on? So there we go. That's the consequences. Out the family. Your wives are out the family. I want to know what Naomi's got to say about that. Where's Naomi? Naomi should be in this story. I know she's on Raw, but this is family stuff. Like, she should be involved here. But he's saying you're out the family. Your wives are out the family. Your kids will be out the family. Your kids will be out your family. I didn't hear him say about the kids. The kids might be fine. So if they're watching, you're okay. If you're watching in like 50, 100 years time and you are the kids of Jimmy and Jey Uso, you might be allowed back in the family. I don't know. He didn't specify. But if you are the kids or the kids, you are screwed. The cell has come down. Paul Heyman and Roman in the ring. Jey Uso climbing up. Properly teasing. Look, Jey Uso climbing up the side of the cell. Can you imagine if they do fight on the top of this cell? The cell that Undertaker and Mankind fought in was 16 feet high. This is 20 feet high. This is nearly a quarter taller. I don't think they will. Although saying that, Thingy went off that size cell, didn't he? Shane at WrestleMania. There we go. It looks like a milk crate, says Chalmers. 10 out of 10. That was awesome. It was brilliant. So good, says Future Compilations. I mean, that's it, innit? That's it. That's wrestling. It's gripping. It's realistic. It's edge of the seat. Just can't get enough. Well executed. I mean, can you see the difference between that segment and the Bayley Sasha segment? Can you see how serious, how gripping that is compared to the just sign it, give me back my belt, like the you don't get that. Everything Roman says, he means. He believes in it. He makes you believe in it. Everything Jay does as well, they mean it. They're so serious. The execution is so on point. So well done. It's absolutely... anyone that just doesn't... that lays into Roman, I can't get it. I don't understand. Like, what they're doing is incredible work. And I think, really, this one show, if you compare it to the Bayley-Sasha story, where they very much seem to just be going through the motions. They're like two friends playing at being enemies. Whereas these, you know, I really feel it. They're doing such a good job. I loved it. Brilliant. Great show, says Min King. Days, if Paul Bearer was alive today, who should he manage? I don't think he'd manage anyone. I think he'd be pretty much done. I mean, if he was alive today, I couldn't even tell you how old he would be, but he'd be surely in his 70s. James says Lana should go through a table on both Raw and SmackDown. Brendan says 9.5, 8.5 from WWE Best in the World. Yeah, get your scores in. Fire in your full-time scores. What did you think? What are your full-time scores? Ping them in. Fire them in. What did you think of the show? On FS1, WWE Backstage should be starting soon. I don't have access to it, unfortunately. I don't think so, anyway. Talking Smack on FS1. Yeah, I don't think I've got it. No, I've got a UFC show about to start, actually. What is this? UFC presents Inside the Octagon. So, here we go. A little bit of talk show building up towards tomorrow. Tomorrow! Talking Smack on live on TV, yeah. 7.25, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.77 milk crates out of 10. 2.25, 7.75, 9. Was any women on on a backstage segment tonight. Do you mean WWE backstage? That's been replaced with Talking Smack, and Bianca Bel-Air was on it, or is going to be on it. It's strange how Naomi was drafted to Raw, even though she could have been a major part in this storyline. Hopefully, they've got something else they want to do with her. I really think that Asuka Naomi it's got to be a feud that we're going to get. Has anyone stopped to think about The Rock? And if he plans to interfere and Jay actually wins, sets up a huge main event match and hits us with an even bigger swerve. What, The Rock versus Jay? I hadn't considered that, no. I just think that Roman Jay is the match to make. 7 out of 10. Hell in a Cell swerve. Eva Marie might debut as Bayley's new bestie, says Brother Nero. Days, we all know WWE can be good when we see good stuff like that. It makes you wonder why WWE can't be this good all the time. The thing I like about AEW is that they are consistent. Quadrado, shout out to you. I love The Rock, says Aaliyah. 725. Yeah, I think that's fair. Well, Sports Kida called it Uso split because Roman beats Jay. We all know who's going to win, but what if Roman purposefully loses to make Jay feel sorry? I don't think so. I think you're getting too in depth. I think this is heel Roman. This is heel Roman who wants to just dominate WWE, be the tribal chief. I don't think there's going to be anything silly like that. I hope not anyway. I just want to keep going with this version of Roman. I think it's so good because it shows that he doesn't even care about his family's feelings. So if he doesn't care about his family, and if he doesn't care about ripping his family apart, what's he going to do when he takes on the likes of a Kevin Owens, or he takes on the likes of a Lars Sullivan? How much respect do you think he's going to have for them? None. And they can always call back to, my family got tore apart and I don't lose a second of sleep because I did what I had to do. And he can always call back to it. So I think it's a brilliant feud. I think the execution's perfect. And I think it's just going to make even bigger matches for the future. Are you watching Talking Smack? I can't. I don't have it, unfortunately. If Uso quits, is he out of the family? Yes, he is. He will be out of the family. Right, I'm going to give you my score. My score is 725. I don't think there was really much in the way that was OMG. I think there was a couple of matches that I wasn't really that bothered by. Like the big 8-man match to start off. I mean, a quarter of the show was given to that. And I just don't really care, to be honest. I didn't really care about it. And there was a few, like the court stuff was okay. I was probably around about a 7 at the halfway point. Maybe a 6.75. I mean, I kind of thought that it was an okay show. Second half was better. What we just saw at the end was excellent. Bayley Sasha, I was a bit disappointed in. I think for a go-home show, I was entertained. Like, it was, what I'm going to say is this was a solid show. I don't think it was a spectacular show. It was a solid show. And honestly, I'll take that. So, right, I'm actually going to wrap up now. I really want to get some more research done for UFC. I know we normally stick around for another 10 minutes at least, but there's not really a great deal to say, apart from we're back on Sunday for Hell in a Cell. And Hell in a Cell is going to be a lot of fun. I think that the card looks great. It doesn't look crowded. I think the matches that are on it all make sense. They're all matches to look forward to. I think Otis, Miz, it is what it is. I mean, this has been a feud that's been going for a while, and it is for the briefcase. Jeff Hardy, Elias, it's probably the weakest one on the show for me, but be interesting to see Elias back. I haven't seen Elias in a while, so I don't mind it. And then 3 Hell in a Cell matches, and all 3 look mouth-watering. So Sunday is huge. as we said, not much to kind of really throw around tonight, so I'm probably going to jump off now and start doing some even more research for tomorrow. Don't forget tomorrow, if you can join us at any point tomorrow, stop by. I'll massively appreciate it. It's one of the biggest streams of the year. It's one of the biggest shows of the year. UFC 254. Unmissable. Unmissable. So even if you just drop by and say hello, I massively appreciate the support. But for those of you that are going to be joining us throughout the whole show, don't forget it starts early. Starts early. Don't want you joining us at like 10 o'clock at night or whatever, having missed it all. It's going to start around about 10, 11 a.m. Eastern time. And just after lunchtime here, about 2, 3 in the afternoon here in the UK. So, yeah, it is very early tomorrow. So, again, another reason why I'm going to jump out a little bit early, get some more research done, make sure I get some good sleep, and be ready for a pretty manic weekend. So, if I'll see you tomorrow, awesome. If not, then hopefully I see you on Sunday for Hell in a Cell. I don't think that there'll be any predictions. We'll probably start the Hell in a Cell stream early, to be honest. I think there's every chance we start Hell in a Cell early, and I'll just do my predictions then. So I'll give you a bit of an even longer Hell in a Cell stream. So there we go. Awesome, my friends. Thank you so much to everyone that joined us tonight. Don't forget the massive news tonight that we haven't even spoke about, and it is worth mentioning again. And that news, of course, is that Shorty G is dead. Shorty G is no more. Once again, we've got the return of Chad Gable. And there is nothing I can say that's going to be any better than that to end this stream. Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. And hopefully see you again next time. Bye for now.